and his business partners after his first term, accusing him of defrauding lenders by falsely inflating property values.
We're told that Attorney General Pam Bondi signed off on the probe. Subpoenas were sent to James's office, and there is a grand jury investigation underway in the New York State Capitol of Albany. The specific investigation involves deprivation of rights, which in plain language means someone in a position of legal authority violating someone else's constitutional or legal rights.
Fox's David spun a second subpoenas related to James' office corruption case against the National Rifle Association. Vice President Vance met with the British Foreign Secretary David Lammy before starting a family vacation in England.
While the two had lingering tariff-related matters to discuss, much of the conversation focused on the Middle East after Israel's security cabinet decided to extend IDF presence in Gaza. While the UK is among the countries calling for recognition of a Palestinian state, Vance said their shared goals remain.
We want to make it so that Hamas cannot attack innocent Israeli civilians ever again, and we think that has to come through the eradication of Hamas. Second, the president has been very moved by these terrible images of the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, so we want to make sure that we solve that problem.
Though Vance said the U.S. has no plan to recognize a Palestinian state. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
A grand jury indicts 6 people arrested over a brawl in downtown Cincinnati last month. A woman knocked unconscious. Holly spoke to Fox.
When I realized the police weren't going to come, I could hear someone, the man that I jumped in front of, literally crying to God, please God, somebody save me, somebody help me. It was the third time he had been knocked down and kicked in his face over and over.
A defense attorney says this wasn't a black racist mob attacking people. It was separate fights triggered by racial slurs. America's listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
August is doing what August likes to do in St. Louis. Sunny, hot, and humid through the afternoon. 95 for the high slowdown. Take it easy. Tonight, clear, warm, humid. 90s for evening plans. 76 for the low, but at least the days are getting shorter. Saturday, sunny, hot, humid, 95. And Sunday, mostly sunny. And let's call it 93 Sunday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Don't melt in the heat. If your AC unit isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in the comfort zone fast with an AC service call for only $99. To get your AC serviced, visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
All right, we've got a new Lobster tour in the house. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we barely know what we're talking about. I said yesterday, was that yesterday we were talking about?
No, I think it was 2 days ago. I think it was Wednesday.
So I was talking about all of the fish that you could catch in looking at this Trump administration, their Justice Department, what they're pursuing, what they can catch, what they can realistically reel all the way in. There's a lot there. You've got James Comer issuing subpoenas to the Clintons to come in to testify to give depositions in regards to the Epstein case. That might be at the absolute top. Maybe Barack Obama and Russiagate, but as far as salaciousness goes and what people on the whole in the electorate seem to be pounding their fists on the table, it seems like the Epstein files are still the biggest. That's the most common public demand, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
You got to be kind of in the weeds a little bit to be like, but Russia.
Yes, it's still Epstein. But I think more people are waking up to this story than we give them credit for.
Sure, but you'd have to give Donald Trump the time of day to even consider the fact that maybe he's not the villain that he's been made out to. Because if you're somebody who hates Donald Trump and has always hated Donald Trump, probably because you've been lied to and you've been suckered. But regardless, if you're still that person, you don't care that the Russia stuff was made up. You want to high-five those people for trying.
You nailed it. That is exactly right. You don't care whether it's true or not. You already have your set of beliefs, and you're going to go with it regardless.
Yeah. What was it that, was it Brennan who said in the intelligence report when they're like, when Barack Obama directs the intelligence community to redo it, the intelligence community report, assessment, I should say, I think it's an ICA, comes back in 2016 after Donald Trump has won the presidency, and they're like, Donald Trump didn't do an collusion with Russia. That didn't happen. There's no evidence that suggests that. And Barack Obama goes, go look at it again. And come back with something different. And the people in the intelligence community are saying to, I think it was Brennan, I don't think it was Clapper, it was one of the two. I at least now know whose face belongs to which name. These are swamp creatures, so I'm trying to, it's been a minute since we've had to dig deep into this. But I believe it was Brennan. They tell him this stuff, this isn't accurate. We can't put this intelligence in here and say that's what this means, that Donald Trump did some collusion here. We can't say that. That's not what the evidence says. And they go to the Steele dossier and they say the Steele dossier, this stuff in here is not provably accurate. There's nothing in here that's provably accurate. We know that it was paid for by Hillary Clinton. We know that there was an investment that was made 100% because of political needs to win that 2016 election. That's where this came from, and there's nothing in here that's provably true. And Brennan says, but doesn't it ring true? That is a quote in my head that I will not forget. The idea that somehow or another in Brennan's head, the information that was alleged fits the bill. The guys at the very top of our investigative departments are like, kind of tracks for me, good enough for me. That is mind-blowing that you could take something like that and then say, all right, we can give Obama what he wants. Not what is real, not what is true. We can give him what he wants. And so they did, and now you are here in August of 2025, and we're still talking about Russia collusion and the absolute saboteurs who tried to steal power in the American government away from the American people by sabotaging Donald Trump and his presidency. That's for a fact. These are huge, huge things, but still you've got Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. I can't get the picture of Bill Clinton sitting in that chair in that blue dress out of my head.
Wait, that's a real picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was a painting.
Oh, that's what it is. That's right. I knew it wasn't AI because I have the image in my head, but I couldn't place it.
Isn't it weird how you have to ask yourself that every time you see anything ever now?
It's a new world.
And it's only going to get better.
Worse.
Same. Epstein, Clinton's huge. The former president of the United States, the first black president of the United States, apparently was willing to deceive everybody downstream from his small circle of people in government to sabotage the future commander-in-chief of the United States. That is crazy stuff. Meanwhile, Adam Schiff, my blue lobster.
All right, here we go.
Let's go. He's under investigation, right?
Yes.
We talked a little bit about, obviously, what do you call somebody who hunts lobsters?
A lobster tour.
Yes, that is facts. And
we didn't just make that up.
No, this is just kind of like Obama going, make it so. Right. And then people are like, Lobstentour it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Media's going to carry Lobstentour now.
My goal, my professional number one bucket list goal right now is to try to get Lobstentour on like a mainstream channel.
It'll take us a couple decades.
I don't even. That's all right. I'll know I've made it. I can retire after that. We need to Google that and make sure it doesn't mean something else before I just.
I don't even know how to spell it.
I think you could spell it however. I'd throw a rando X in there.
Nope.
He is under investigation for mortgage fraud, and then of course today we find out Fox News reports. Under Ashley Oliver, David Spunt, and Jake Gibson collaboration, the Department of Justice convened a grand jury to investigate New York Attorney General Letitia James, marking an escalation in President Donald Trump's fight with New York's top prosecutor. The investigation is being run out of Albany, New York, and focused on possible deprivation of rights allegations. Two well-placed sources familiar with the probe told Fox News Digital. The investigation is an early stage, but Fox News Digital has learned that James's office received subpoenas for documents this week, including for information related to her civil fraud lawsuit against Trump. Separately, Attorney General Pam Bondi has authorized a special prosecutor, Ed Martin, to investigate allegations of mortgage fraud involving James and Blue Lobster, by addition, California Democratic Senator Adam Schiff. A grand jury in Virginia will investigate claims involving James. A grand jury in Maryland will investigate claims involving Schiff. We continue. What's the verb of lobstentouring? Is that it?
You just said it. You kind of backed into it.
Is this how the left makes up words?
Yes.
And Gen Z?
Yes.
What is an intersection there?
Less so than there used to be.
There's adulting and there's lobstentouring.
Mm-hmm. And only one is done in Maine.
I said this off air. I'll repeat it now. I want everybody to get their comeuppance in a really, really big way. But if the only person who ends up in jail is Adam Schiff, I will be satisfied.
He is, would you say, insufferable? Every time he speaks.
I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know if it goes far enough.
It encapsulates my feelings whenever he speaks.
This is interesting. This brings me to the YouTube live chat poll. And this is a sincere poll. Because I'm going to tell you right from the very beginning, I'm going to vote no on this poll. It's a no for me. Is commenting on J.B. Pritzker's weight fair game? I said this all week long. Illinois has had a banner week. And you could just go back and rewind the tape on the first full week of August. And you could look at why Illinois is so bass-ackwards in everything that they do. And none of it really has anything to do with what size clothing J.B. Pritzker wears. I do think that anytime that there's a comment made about a female who's in politics or something like that, if it's a comment about physical attributes, the women come out, and this is a bipartisan thing too. They're like, men don't have to deal with this. Only women are the ones who... That's not true. I don't really hear many people at all talking about J.B. Pritzker without some sort of tongue-in-cheek comment about his size. I really, really try hard not to make those comments. But he kind of gets under my skin so much that sometimes it's like, that's why I don't like it, because it's just the cheapest shot. And when I've thrown all the moneymaker shots that have to do with his gross hypocrisy, his willingness to go on Stephen Colbert and make a joke about how kindergartners drew the maps in Illinois while he's trying to be the savior of the Democratic Party by talking about how Texas shouldn't do exactly the same dang thing. That enrages me. I don't like to do this, to talk on radio, to have these conversations rooted in emotion. It's okay to let a little emotion come in and sprinkle in the recipe there while you're giving a thought or an analysis of something, but it shouldn't be driven by emotion, because in my mind, that's what the other side does. Everything is driven by emotion, and every once in a while, some salient thinking slips its way in the back door. But there are, I don't know, it's like 4 out of 5 times if somebody's talking about J.B. Pritzker, they're commenting about his weight. And the question today is that fair game? And I will highlight, don't you hear that, where like if there's a female and she's not exactly the standard of beauty that people. I'll defend Hillary Clinton in this too, and you could go back to the very beginning of me being on the radio. I don't need to know about what you think about Hillary Clinton's pantsuits. She's awful. It doesn't matter what she's wearing. She's not awful because of the way she dresses. She's awful because she's awful. Does it matter? Should we collectively stick to the issues as opposed to the critiques on the physicality of somebody? There's a lot to criticize with J.B. Pritzker.
Let me throw this in the mix because this week South Park had a very, very watched episode that involved Charlie Kirk and Kristi Noem. And you know what they did to Kristi Noem? They made fun of her looks.
Yes.
Made fun of her looks, and she came out and said,
she shouldn't have commented on it.
That's below the belt. You can't do that. And
no, she didn't say that. I want to correct you on that because this does matter. She didn't say it was below the belt and you can't do that. She said it was lazy.
Okay. But either way, she was criticizing it because they were just going after her looks.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fair. Actually thought the jokes were lazy.
Yeah.
Myself.
Like, do better. That's the best you can do.
It was the easy route.
I think part of the South Park episode that included her, started with her shooting a dog.
Yes. I thought it was going to be more about her posing for the cameras. That would have been a better take for her.
Like a show, but not just the physicality.
But they just did the plastic surgery thing.
Gosh dang it. See, I'm reading your comments now. I need to know what you guys think about this. I said off air, I think this is going to be kind of a 60-40 poll vote. You guys might surprise me one way or the other. I don't really know how you guys feel about the cheap shots. So I'm talking specifically against J.B. Pritzker. He's the biggest Democratic doofus out there right now. So there's a lot of political hay to make over what he's doing. Let us know what you think. I'm going to feed your comments. When we come back, excited to have Rabbi Chaim Landa on the show. He's the organizer of the 5th annual St. Charles Jewish Festival, and we wanted to give him an opportunity to talk about what's going on in St. Charles this weekend. We'll be right back.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims, and in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Guys, it's time to take charge of your health with my friends at Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. I already love what they do at Victory. They do hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, even vitamin deficiencies. Now they're offering specialty cardiovascular testing and even early detection cancer screening. Visit them at one of their 4 great locations, now in Sunset Hills, Town and Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum, Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Register by September 2nd at MissouriBroadcasters.org.
Hello, I'm Missouri State Treasurer Vivek Malik. August 14th is National Able Savings Day, a time to highlight how ABLE accounts empower individuals with disabilities. Our More ABLE program helps Missourians save for everyday needs without losing public benefits. To celebrate, we are offering a $25 match for anyone who opens a new account in August. Earnings grow tax-free and contributions qualify for a state tax reduction. Let's help more Missourians build financial independence. Learn more at moable.com.
Paid for by the Missouri State Treasurer's Office.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Is thinning hair or receding hairline making you self-conscious? Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
Annie Fry is back because truth doesn't take a break. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We're glad you're here on a Friday afternoon. 92 degrees and sunny, according to my computer, in the 65-degree room that we're standing in right now. Hope you're enjoying some beautiful summer weather here. As we kind of get towards the end of the summer, there's still a lot going on, and we wanted to bring on here Rabbi Chaim Landa, who is the organizer of the 5th Annual St. Charles Jewish Festival that's coming up here this weekend. Rabbi, thank you for being with us today. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
My pleasure. Good afternoon.
So I want to get to this Jewish festival that's taking place Sunday, August 10th, from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Lewis and Clark Boathouse parking lot. But I do wanted to give you an opportunity to speak a little bit too. We covered this yesterday with the Clayton Police Department, the incidents that took place in Clayton. There's an alleged hate crime that took place. Fires set ablaze multiple vehicles with some very awful anti-Semitic language written on the ground. And I just wanted to give you an opportunity to comment on that event and where your organization is right now with it.
Sure. Yeah, it's worrisome. It's concerning. Yeah, it really hit home. And I think the important thing to remember, we sometimes get very fixated, and obviously something like this puts us all on high alert and very concerned. But it's important to remember the power of positivity, the power of light. And this has really been post October 7th, and it's something that kind of has emerged. Within the Jewish community, people are really leaning in to their Jewish identity. And people are standing stronger and prouder. And I think that's a really important thing. It's interesting we're talking about the festival as well, and the festival is just coming a couple of days after this terrible incident. People are like they're thirsty for opportunities such as this to be proudly and publicly Jewish, and also for the greater community. You know, most people, the vast majority of people, are good.
Yeah.
And creating an opportunity for people to rally around the Jewish community, particularly out here in St. Charles, it's a really, really special thing. And I would say that it's an embrace, it's a hug, and it's just that much more important now.
Rabbi Landa speaking with us right now, the organizer of the 5th Annual St. Charles Jewish Festival taking place this Sunday. Can you talk to me a little bit about if people listening right now aren't as familiar with the Jewish community here in the St. Louis area, your particular area in the St. Charles area, how big is the Jewish community here?
So there are 6,000 Jews in St. Charles County. It makes up a very large percentage of the Jews in our region. But it wasn't only until about 5 years ago that we established a presence out here, a Chabad Jewish Center. And it's interesting, before we made the move, my wife and I founded this center, people were saying things like, there's no Jews out there. And for the Jews that we were meeting within the county, so many thought they were the only one. And we still meet some people who think they're the only Jew in the county. So we've really made it a priority to bring people together. Because when you're in the same room, when you're at the same event, and especially when it's large numbers, like the thousands that are going to be joining us at the St. Charles Jewish Festival on Sunday, it reminds people you're not alone.
Yeah.
We're well represented, and it's in a fun and meaningful way. So that's like the story in short. But right now we are a growing, vibrant Jewish community, and it's just been a wonderful 5 years. And I think the most beautiful piece, or a very beautiful piece within the story, is how the greater St. Charles County community has responded.
Yeah.
All the county executive and the mayor of St. Charles and the mayor of St. Peter's and Wenzel, and O'Fallon, all of the mayors out here and just the leadership have been so welcoming, so positive. And I think that the festival that we have, which is now, this is the largest annual Jewish event taking place in the region. And for St. Charles to be the host, I think that's just a very, very beautiful thing.
Well, Sunday, August 10th, that's this Sunday coming up, 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Lewis and Clark Boathouse parking lot. I think there are a lot of people listening right now. Of course, politically and geopolitically, the world is paying attention to the Jewish community right now. And I know that certainly here on this show and this station and with our audience that is out there, there is an enormous amount of support that is coming from us to the Jewish community. I'm thinking about this event being in St. Charles. We have a ton of listeners out there. Is this something where you're trying to bring Jewish people together to celebrate? Are you inviting people of other walks of life and faiths and all of that to come in and experience your community?
Absolutely. This event is for everyone. And I would say about half the people that have been coming and likely will come are not Jewish. So it's everyone is welcome. And it's really an opportunity for people to come together to connect in a positive, joyful, meaningful way, and also an opportunity to learn about the Jewish culture and the traditions and hear the music, taste the foods. So yeah, absolutely. This is for everyone. And we have a special emphasis on activities for families with young children, from a petting zoo to cultural crafts, balloon art, inflatables. We also have what we call the Shuk experience, which is modeled after the open marketplaces that you can find all over Israel. And it's just, anything can be sold at the Shuk. So we'll have jewelry, we'll have Judaica, we'll have candies, we'll have different clothing items, there'll be art. It will really be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds like an amazing cultural experience, of course, for you to connect with more people within the Jewish community here in the listening area, but also for people who want to learn more. We've been hearing a lot about Israel. We've been hearing a lot about the Jewish people. There's a lot of support that exists, and this is a great opportunity for everybody to come together in a really great cultural experience this Sunday, August 10th, from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Lewis and Clark Boathouse parking lot. Rabbi, thank you for being with us here today. I think I'm really grateful we were able to connect and make this conversation happen, and I hope that you have an amazingly successful event this weekend.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Rabbi Chaim Landa, the organizer of the 5th annual St. Charles Jewish Festival. It's kind of cool to be able to go somewhere here in our community and experience something that is so top of mind for people who pay attention to the news. But if you're not personally connected with somebody who is a member of the Jewish faith or a Jewish cultural experience, and you're interested in learning more, this would be a really cool opportunity to take the family out and see. And a petting zoo.
Yeah, it sounds great. St. Charles area, so if you're in that area, it's like really backyard, easy to do.
Lewis and Clark Boathouse parking lot. All right, well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to ask you about the poll.
Okay.
Get your thoughts on this. Give you a little bit of time to prepare your thoughts. Is commenting on J.B. Pritzker's weight fair game, yes or no? We'll be right back.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
All right, we are asking you, and we'll answer this question here in just a minute. Is commenting on Governor J.B. Pritzker's weight fair game? Yes or no? It's the YouTube live chat poll. Let us know what you think. 12:31. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Consistently right.
It's a ritual.
97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. The YouTube live chat poll for today is commenting on Governor J.B. Pritzker's weight. Fair game, yes or no? No, but I'm actually surprised at how many people openly do this in like the top tiers of media.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's not just here in Illinois or where we are.
It almost seemed, well, I don't know if it's more in the national news, but there doesn't really seem to be any reservation in doing it. I don't like it. I'm a no on this. I don't think that we need to comment on J.B. Pritzker's weight. I don't think it has anything to do with how bad of a governor he is. I'll say like Gutfeld, he doesn't miss an opportunity to slam on Chris Christie.
Right.
He's a Republican. Maybe not the air quotes right kind of Republican. But in those essences, it's like fair game either side. What do you think?
I'm a yes. I think it's okay. I think he's a public figure, and this is part of the territory. He's a big chubby guy. This is what's going to happen when you're the governor of a major state and you're a big chubby guy.
Scooter says nobody's weight should be fair game. It's hypocritical.
I don't know. I just don't think that. I just don't care. I don't care. Like when people do it, I don't really care. I also don't think, to your point though, that it's really the strongest argument to make about the guy.
You're kind of missing the opportunity.
So I don't typically make these jokes, and part of that is just that I think they're easy jokes, and I'm like, I'm above easy jokes. I gotta make better jokes.
You're not above it. You think you're better.
I think I'm better than making the easy joke. In a way, I just think if you're going to make a political point against J.B. Pritzker and you include that, that's an easy way for people to say, oh, you're just making fun of him based on his weight, when really we don't like his policies and the way he's governing. But I also don't care when people do it. So that's why I say yes.
Ender said, of course it is. Okay. Does it make it right? Not necessarily, but it's still fair game. So kind of delineating like, yeah, you can do it, but it doesn't make it necessarily right.
And that's kind of what I'm saying.
Splitting hairs. I think about the way the left talks about Melania Trump because she's beautiful. Isn't it amazing that the fact that Melania Trump is an immigrant to the country is a negative for Melania Trump for the left? The fact that she's stunningly beautiful, she's incredibly smart. I mean, there are things. Yes, she's posed nude, but if the only thing that makes that all of those attributes about her unlikable for the left is that she votes Republican. Well, I guess she does. She certainly probably has voted for one Republican. But I mean, you look at somebody like Melania Trump, because she's beautiful, that's a negative towards her for people on the left. Like, the prettier you are I don't know if you guys agree with this, but just like on the surface level, and we're talking, you said that it's the easy, lazy comment, the easy, lazy joke, that you're better than that. But the prettier you are as a public figure female, unless you're an actress or a performer of some kind, the prettier you are, the dumber you're assumed to be.
I've dealt with this firsthand.
Yeah. As an insulter or an insultee?
Insultee. Clearly.
Do you want people to insult you more? You're the dumbest person I know.
People say that a lot because of my looks.
Because you're so beautiful.
I assume it's because of my looks.
That's the only possible. There's no
reason.
Other
possible
yeah.
interpretation.
If I tell you you're
that.
the dumbest person I know right now, are you insulted or flattered?
I mean, how could I not be flattered? Because I know where that's coming from.
I don't know.
A deep place of insecurity.
Fine. One of the insults, I get two kinds of insults about my physicality on social media. One is that I'm fat, which I don't think I'm fat. I think I could lose weight, but I've had 4 kids and I'm 41, and like, come at me, bro, if you can do what my body has done. But the second one, which is the opposite of that, is that I fry my hair blonde, and I've had so much Botox that Fox News, of course, would pick me up. And I don't work for Fox News. I do not color my hair, and I've never injected anything into my skin. So that is kind of like the backhanded compliment. Like, some people will say, oh, I find her attractive, therefore she must be, the phrase is, a Fox News bimbo. Which is all a long way to say to me that they think I'm dumb, because I disagree with them politically. Now, they haven't spent the time to consider what their arguments are against my arguments. They're not even remotely interested in it. This is a hobby for those people. Is it the same thing when someone only criticizes J.B. Pritzker because of his weight? The things that I get, that's because I have blonde hair, which is maybe more gray than blonde because I just quit coloring it. Is it the same thing?
I don't know. I think, honestly, that it is different for men and women. It just is. That making fun of a guy's appearance is different than making fun of a girl's appearance. And it's more acceptable when it's a guy.
But guys are more accepting of it.
Yes.
As men.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, because we don't care as much.
Well, there's no physical thing that somebody could make fun of me for that I would be like, that's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Like, I will internalize those things. But I also understand who I am, what I have, where my value comes from. So if I get to where I am in my career and nobody's paying attention, like, you're going to have the good and you're going to have the bad, and that's just the way it goes. And I'm sure Pritzker understands that. He's not unfamiliar with his physical presence. But I feel like every time someone takes a big swing with a bat and decides to try to go for the weight comment, I'm like, you missed the boat. You missed the opportunity here. Brad, what do you think?
I don't have a problem with it, especially since coming from being a fat person. What I understand is like, yes, you can have weight issues and that sort of thing, but when you are morbidly obese, that is a choice that you have made.
So what Brad's talking about is you've lost, how much weight have you lost?
Over 100 pounds. I used to weigh 330 pounds. Big guy, shopped at DXL, Destination XL, had to get the big clothes that they don't even sell the clothes in the regular store. I was very big. And the thing that I learned about that from myself is that it was a self-discipline issue for me. And it took a major health issue for me to realize that I was making poor life decisions. So I look at, I can look at people and go, that person's just a little bit overweight. It's nothing that they're doing. It's just kind of their body type. And I can look at somebody and go, yeah, but you need to make better decisions and you wouldn't be as overweight. So I look at J.B. Pritzker and he falls into that morbidly obese category. And I just don't have sympathy for people that have made the decision, because it is a decision, to be that much overweight. Now, I will give him credit. I think that he is losing weight.
Yeah, he is.
And to my...
Be ready, America. He's coming for the rest of you.
I was going to say, that my theory is if you see a politician losing weight, they're getting ready to run for the presidency. So that man is getting ready to make a run at the presidency. It's usually your first indicator. But I think
Mike Pompeo.
I think that his weight is fair game. But you are, if that's all you're swinging at, you're wasting your time because it has nothing to do with the major issues at him. His weight has nothing to do with the bad decisions that he makes as governor. So it's fair game, but I wouldn't waste a bunch of time on it.
I'm going to peek right now at the results here. I'm not going to tell you what they are.
Have a little peek ski.
Ooh. Is commenting on Governor J.B. Pritzker's weight fair game? If you want to peek at the results along with me, just go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel. The live chat portion of today's live broadcast, that's where you can vote on it. If you go to anniefryshow.com as well, we always embed the current day's broadcast right there. You can watch it right there at anniefryshow.com. And if you click on that YouTube video that's up there, you'll get taken to YouTube where you can comment in the chat section and also vote in the poll. I wonder, I wish I could have, I kind of wish I would have gone back and changed their possible answers to this. Is commenting on J.B. Pritzker's weight fair game? Yes or no? Yes, I'm a guy. Yes, I'm a girl. No, I'm a guy. No, I'm a girl.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Because you guys are both saying, like, it's not your best foot forward. But if you do, it's like, it's fine. You're a yes in this?
Yeah.
You're both a yes.
Yeah.
And you've heard how many times I've made weight jokes about J.B. Pritzker.
About
it's
me?
not about you. That's all fair. It's not often. I really I don't make those
No.
jokes, but I also because it's just to me it's honestly just too easy. It's just it's a layup, and I'd rather make a 3. I'm really the focal point here.
All right,
I'm
Caitlin.
making myself into a real hero.
But you and Caitlin have one thing in common: a groin injury.
Wait.
I don't know. It's just a rumor going around.
Back this up.
No, can't explain it. All right, let's go to a break. We come back. The Be or Not the Be with Ryan Wiggins and Wiggins America. It's going to be a long segment. Hope you have plenty. We'll be right back.
Bold, unapologetic, unfiltered. The Mark Cox Morning Show is covering the issues that matter to you. From borders to school boards, Mark Cox is St. Louis conservative.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. And you know, your home is your sanctuary. You need to take the first step to peace of mind with a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from the #1 Generac generator dealer in the country, Generator Supercenter. We learned the hard way here in St. Louis during the tornado recently that power can be knocked out. But even outside of that, what if the power grid fails and it's 100 degrees here in St. Louis? You don't want to be that person. Get with Generator Supercenter of St. Louis today. Generator Supercenter of St. Louis.com. Tell them that we sent you along.
If it's time for new windows, there's only one place to call. That is Window World. Mark Cox here. Call my friends at Window World at 314-993-1800 for your free estimate today. If you have any questions, they'll be glad to send someone out to explain all of it to you. You can even schedule right online at windowworldstl.com. You know, there's a lot of high-interest financing out there, but here's what Window World's doing. Right now, they're offering 18 up to 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. You can't beat that. You also get a lifetime warranty that covers all of the parts, the glass breakage, and labor. Who else stands behind their product like that? Over half the appointments Window World will set this year are from previous customers or referrals from those customers. That is a testimony to their customer service, their quality, and their commitment to creating loyal customers. That's what you get with Window World. Call them at 314-993-1800, windowworldstl.com. Mark Cox here. Let me introduce you to my friends at the Lit Cigar Lounge in St. Louis, where luxury meets comfort. Premium hand-rolled cigars, an extensive selection of rare bourbons and whiskeys and craft cocktails. It's comfortable for non-smokers, too. They have a state-of-the-art ventilation system. They have private lockers and live music every Friday night, perfect for date nights or business meetings or just winding down. Visit litstl.com.
Rooted in faith, grounded in family. We're back with more truth. This is the Annie Fry Show.
This is how we do it. This is how we do
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We've got Gregg Jarrett coming up in 15 minutes or so, and there's a lot to talk to him about. What did you originally book him on, and what day?
So I booked him. I was trying to book him on Monday or Tuesday, and he wasn't able to get on until today. And it was on the latest on the Russia. It was the Russia collusion grand jury. Whenever they formed that, and he's had a lot to say on that, a lot of articles and whatnot.
So in the matter of that amount of time, we've had Ed Martin named as the special prosecutor for the Adam Schiff and the Letitia James case as well. And we have subpoenas for the Epstein files through the House Oversight Committee and Congressman Comer. I feel like we need to have like an on-air identifier of which major investigation we're looking into at any time when we're talking about it.
Yeah,
I want to talk to Gregg Jarrett for 45 minutes.
Well, if Gregg Jarrett's cool with that, I bet you could.
I doubt he's cool with that. He's very kind to our show. He's very generous with our show. I don't want to but there's just so much.
Greg, can you stick around for 2-3 more segments?
Yeah, or just until the grand jury is done.
Yeah, do that.
We'll take that. There's just so much there.
The Justice Department now tapping a grand jury to look into the intelligence community's assessment of what was happening with Russia. Is that you have nothing to do with directing the Justice Department?
No, I have nothing to do. Pam is doing a great job. I have nothing to do with it. I will tell you this. They deserve it. I was happy to hear it. I actually read it just like you did. I have nothing to do with it. But what they did in the election, what they did in even the last election, but it was too big to rig. But what they did in the 2020 election is grotesque.
I have in my mind that he's got like this soundboard, but like in radio, a lot of times hosts will have a soundboard and they can just push a button and then it throws out a drop of some kind. In my mind, he has this like soundboard. I don't know, like Stephen Miller's back there and he's like, too big to rig, hit it. And then he's saying, oh, and it's too big to rig.
Yeah.
But he's had these same things to go into. Okay, I know that there are people listening right now. I know there are people commenting right now who are going to be like, rapid fire, an answer to this. What has President Trump, since he's been the president of the United States, what has he pounded the table on over and over and over again that he was completely wrong about?
COVID would end by Easter.
No, that's not really what COVID started for us at basically the beginning of February. That's a 60-day.
So he didn't pound. Yeah, there wasn't long enough time.
I mean, like him talking about too big to rig. That is a 5-year.
Yeah.
Like that goes into the 2020 election. The Russia stuff goes back to 2016. Russia collusion, Hillary hoax, Hillary emails. I mean, China virus. He's been so repetitive with the things that he says when he says them. He's been so repetitive. But I don't think he was wrong. And I'm actually pretty astounded that he's been so publicly willing to commit, sort of to the bit. It's not a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you got your DOJ working on this now. If there wasn't anything they were finding now, I think he would have pivoted. The fact that he's sticking with it now suggests that this story is just starting.
He's a convicted felon right now, and he's still stuck to it. Gregg Jarrett coming up at the top of the 1 o'clock.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! The bee or not the bee?
I like how the bumper coming into this segment was, we're back with more truth, and now a fake news segment.
I put a buffer in there.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Very good job.
Right.
These are stories that are either from the Babylon Bee, which would make them fake, or they're real. You got to tell me which is which. The first headline is, Congress invites Ghislaine Maxwell to come testify under dangling grand piano.
The Bee?
This is the Bee. That is correct. Quote, we'd love Miss Maxwell to sit exactly right there and tell us what she knows, said Senator Mitch McConnell. It's important for the world to find out as much information about the things Epstein was involved in. It's equally as important that Miss Maxwell be seated underneath that grand piano that's dangling by a suspiciously frayed rope. Just a little over to the left. That's perfect.
Aww.
Not a real news story.
Not gonna lie, you had me in the first half.
All right. Trump gerrymanders U.S. to include Canada.
Zubby?
It is Zubby. It's done. I drew the line myself, Trump told reporters in the Oval Office after unveiling the order. Quote, I'm the president, and I have the power to draw the borders. This is something the president can do. Everyone agrees.
That's literally what Vladimir Putin said, and look where Russia is now.
Ethan with a hard, heavy right hook.
Wow. That's some great political commentary.
That was great analysis.
That's what I do.
We're not. No, it's not.
You're right. It's literally
That's
what you do.
Every once in a while, I'll be having a discussion, and I just make eye contact with Ethan, and he gives me the old hand across the neck, like, don't talk to me.
I don't know this one.
I don't know this one. I don't think it's that he doesn't know. I think it's he doesn't want to comment. Different.
Anything else, Ethan, before we go on?
I'll save it for later.
Yeah, what do you think about inflation and tariffs?
Yeah. I said I'll save it for later.
Do you think he's doing the right move about sanctioning Russia right now, or?
The B or not the B, buddy?
This is where I start.
He's really using India as a proxy, wouldn't you say?
I can't breathe. I'm drowning.
Okay, back
Ryan,
to the story.
This is where you jack around. We need you to get back in the game.
This is something the president can do. Everyone agrees. I included Canada, which is now our big, beautiful 51st state, gerrymandering. It's a tremendous thing.
It is beautiful.
All right, next story. New York City opens transgender homeless shelter.
That's real.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's real.
It's real.
Yes, this is, in fact, real. New York City opened the nation's first government-funded homeless shelter exclusively for transgender people.
Why?
The article doesn't say. It says it's a move that's drawing sharp criticism, with opponents calling it yet another example of progressive political theater. The city reportedly is spending, ready for it? I'm going to pause for dramatic effect.
$7.
$63 million
Taxpayer dollars.
in taxpayer dollars to fund the project, which is set to operate through 2030.
Why do you think they need a homeless shelter for specifically transgender people? Why do you think the transgender people can't just go to other homeless shelters that already exist?
I don't know the answer to that.
Is it possible that they are suggesting that transgender people would not be safe around other people who aren't of the same gender identification?
Boy, that's tough. It does sound as if they're saying that.
So are we now at the point in this stupid progressive experiment where transgender people's gender can be protected in safe spaces, but men can still go urinate in women's bathrooms? Why are women the one who gets screwed at the end of all of this? Why are women always the ones who have to be like, keep your mouth shut and stay quiet so that the system can do what the system does? Where are my feminists at? This story frustrates me because I don't want somebody who has I don't want somebody who identifies as transgender, who's living homeless, to not have access to the things they need to hopefully no longer have to be homeless. I mean, I think that would be the ultimate goal of a homeless shelter, is to get you into civilized society where you can provide for yourself and be safe and make a living, whatever that might be. But the suggestion that there needs to be a transgender homeless shelter, to me, it pretty much seems like in the stories that I've read, it's to make sure that they have a safe place to be. And if you're suggesting that their gender qualifies them to need to have a safe space from people of other genders, can women play this game too? Anyway, fun segment. Next.
Also, if you are really hungry and need a bed, wouldn't you walk up to that and go, I am a girl. Can I get food?
Let's watch how they police this.
Yeah, how do you decide, oh, that person's not actually transgender? How do you know? I just feel like it. I just feel like they're not. Because
Tomorrow morning, I think I might be a man again. But
Scooter
right now,
says transgender people get bullied. Yes, and women get raped by people with penises. I'm sorry if that's too graphic, but that's actually the way it is, which is why you protect them specifically in homeless shelters or in other places that are supposed to be private spaces for women. In my opinion, if you want to have this sort of safe space, women should be able to have theirs back as well.
Secret Service in awe as Trump walks on moderately sloped roof.
This is A plus B material.
Yeah, it is.
It's the White House.
Yes. The president's rooftop walk was just the latest in a growing list of seemingly superhuman feats. accomplished during his time in office. Quote, he's not just a man, another agent said, still trying to regain his composure after what he witnessed. Have you seen the slope of the White House roof? It's moderate. And here's the leader of the free world just waltzing along like it's no big deal.
The videos of him walking around on the roof and yelling to the press with his hands cupped around his mouth, the memes that are coming out of this.
Oh, it's great.
It's A+ meme material. But when they're like, what are you doing up there? And he's like, putting nuclear missiles. And then he just takes his hand and just like, pew, like up in motion,
Yeah.
like, pew, you know. They're like, what? And he's like, nuclear missiles, pew.
Charades.
This guy.
From the top of the roof.
Can you imagine Joe Biden walking around the roof?
No, literally not. I can imagine him falling.
Don't jump.
What is it like when you're in the Oval Office and Trump is like, I think I'd like to go to the roof, Mr. President? No, we're going to go to the roof.
But it's moderately sloped.
Real quick, one more headline. Democrats declare gerrymandering bad until they need to gerrymander again.
Real.
It might be real.
Gregg Jarrett next on the Annie Fry Show. So much to get to. Do not go away. We'll be right back.
You've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine, and you could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt, but you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market for a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Well, not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. And listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. So that's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. You cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. So imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt and stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. You get an all-cash offer now by calling 1-855-300-9993. You can also visit TrueHold.com, the smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. If your concrete at your home has started to shift, it's been cracked for a while. I mean, I don't know if Matt Hayes wants me saying this. Of course he does, because he's an honest guy. Your concrete cracks, that's not really a problem. It shifts and it becomes unlevel, that becomes a problem. It gets really bad, you could have a structural problem depending on where that shifted concrete actually is. When you reach out to Home Shield Foundation Repair to assess the damage or the potential future damage of that uneven concrete, Matt Hayes, his crew, they're going to come to your place of residence, to your place of business, and they're going to say, show me what you got. You're going to tell them, they're going to look at it, and they're going to say, all right, here's what we can do. Maybe the job is too big for them. They're going to be honest with you. Matt Hayes is a wonderful guy. He's got a wonderful crew. He's honest, and I tell you what, when you reach out to them to level out that concrete that's broken and uneven at your home, you're going to be in the right place. 314-227-9636. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Feel like your paycheck barely keeps up with your life? At the Financial Freedom Seminar, learn how real people are building passive income and retiring early using real estate. It's all happening live in St. Louis with Lifestyles Unlimited, September 27th and 28th. You'll leave with a step-by-step plan to change your future. Text radio to 88007. That's live in St. Louis, September 27th and 28th. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007.
God, remember when the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Pile were flying around the arch selling flooring?
Andrea, that was the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Tile.
Oh, that's right. But we don't need shtick here at Best Buy Flooring.
That's right, because our in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile are already at low, low prices.
Come see us at our 3 area locations, North County, South County, and Metro East. Open 7 days a week.
Plus, free financing on approved credit. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Now it's her turn. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. New York's Attorney General is under investigation by the Justice Department over whether she violated President Trump's civil rights by suing him for civil fraud. Fox's David Spunt reports.
Two well-placed sources familiar with the probe tell Fox News that New York Attorney General Letitia James and her office is under investigation by the DOJ here in Washington. Those sources tell Fox News the DOJ is going after James because she took then former President Donald Trump to court, quote, simply because she didn't like him and campaigned on getting him.
President Trump's appealing the $454 million judgment James won against him in a lawsuit alleging he defrauded lenders by giving them financial statements with inflated property values. Tentative plans are being made for President Trump to meet with Russia's President Putin late next week about a potential ceasefire with Ukraine. Where the meeting might be held is still being worked out. It would be a third country, not the U.S. or Russia. Germany is suspending arms shipments to Israel for use in Gaza as preparations are being made to expand Israel's war against Hamas there.
Israel has come up with a plan to take over all of Gaza City. Israel controls some 75% of the Gaza Strip, but there is land where civilians are huddled, hostages held. Hamas is holding up. This could take weeks, including the evacuation of the civilians and the deployment of the Israeli military. The plan is not without its controversy. The military say their troops are tired. Running the whole place will take a huge amount of manpower, though Netanyahu says he doesn't want to stay. The hostages, especially the 20 still living, will be in the direct line of fire. And this happens as Israel deals with a humanitarian problem. The U.S. and Israeli-backed aid units are barely keeping up. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Firefighters report holding the line against a wildfire that has thousands of people under evacuation orders or warnings north of Los Angeles. No containment, but no further growth of a fire that broke out yesterday afternoon. America's listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
August is doing what August likes to do in St. Louis. Sunny, hot, and humid through the afternoon. 95 for the high slowdown. Take it easy. Tonight, clear, warm, humid. 90s for evening plans. 76 for the low, but at least the days are getting shorter. Saturday, sunny, hot, and humid. 95. And Sunday, mostly sunny. And let's call it 93 Sunday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Rain.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. The DOJ has opened a grand jury investigation into Letitia James. It is tied to the Donald Trump civil case. How us civilians are supposed to keep up with the enormous amount of very, very impactful investigations coming out of this Department of Justice. The only way I know how to do it is to talk to people who are way smarter than I am. And that means Gregg Jarrett is back on the show with us. Fox News legal analyst, of course, a former defense attorney and law professor, and an author. Gregg Jarrett, welcome back to the show. So great to have you here this afternoon.
Oh, good to be with you, Annie. Thanks for having me back.
So, I mean, you have such a breadth of knowledge of, because you've written books on the Russia hoax, so you've been watching this all unfold from a legal expertise standpoint for years, like us, but with so much extra knowledge. What's your assessment of the Trump Justice Department right now? Do you feel like they're on the right track with all of the different things they're trying to juggle at the same time?
Yeah, I do think so. They have a strike force that is looking at, the various potential conspiracies against Trump, specifically targeting him for political reasons. We learned a couple of days ago that a U.S. attorney has been appointed to convene a grand jury. And so the question becomes, as I wrote in a column a couple of days ago, who's at risk of being prosecuted for, malfeasance and targeting? And I'd say that Comey and Clapper and Brennan are immediate targets for false statements during their testimony, some of which I identified in a book 6 years ago called Witch Hunt. But I think prosecutors are also developing a broader criminal conspiracy that had targeted Trump. I would look at such crimes as conspiracy to defraud the government, deprivation of rights under color of law, obstruction of justice, arising from an ongoing cover-up of what it is they did. And that would be important because it would extend the statute of limitations to the last overt acts of concealment, which is fairly recent. I mean, people continue to cover up. And so, I think dozens of people could be charged as co-conspirators, people in the Obama administration, the Hillary Clinton campaign, certainly the intelligence agencies, bad actors at the FBI, including Comey. There were a lot of people who peddled the Russia collusion hoax, who knew it was a lie, but they abused the levers of power to frame Trump. And then they went about altering intelligence and suppressing evidence. Conspiracy could actually extend to illegal acts against Trump when he was out of office. All of what I think were wrongful prosecutions, the Mar-a-Lago raid, there might also be a grand jury convened in Florida. I wouldn't bring it in Washington, D.C. I mean, that for obvious reasons would be insane. So we'll wait and see where this goes.
Yeah, and so many people who have been watching this for so long can lean in right now and see what's going to develop. I'm looking here. The Russia Hoax by Gregg Jarrett was published in July of 2018. Witch Hunt, the follow-up the following year in October of 2019. You've been chronicling what exactly has been going on. Like, I'll even point out in 2018, Gregg Jarrett was out there saying the Russia hoax, the illicit scheme to clear Hillary Clinton and frame Donald Trump. And then, of course, Witch Hunt, the story of the greatest mass delusion in American political history. How do you feel as though your reporting and your storytelling in those books holds up in August of 2025?
Well, I think my original books are vindicated. If you were to read them today, you'd go, wow, he knew this before the newly declassified documents revealed it. For example, I argued that they were lying, Comey, Clapper, and Brennan, when they said, oh, no, the dossier we didn't rely on, we didn't put it in the intelligence assessment. I said they did. Sure enough, these new documents show they did put it in the intelligence assessment, and the version they released to Congress and the public at that time, back in January of 2017, was deliberately excised. They took the section about the dossier out, which is a deliberate misrepresentation, the alteration of documents. It's deceit. It's lying. And I argued that they were deceitful in their testimony before Congress about that. And sure enough, it looks like they were, and that these new documents prove it.
We're speaking with Gregg Jarrett. You can follow him on X at Gregg Jarrett. Also, his website, thegreggjarrett.com. Wonderful reporting for people to read, especially right now. I encourage you to look into this website and keep up with what you're putting out there. We've got the investigation into Letitia James and my personal favorite, Adam Schiff. I just can't wait to see where that goes. I don't know why that is the one that is of the most interest to me. Just kind of want to see him get his comeuppance. Are these vengeful investigations into particularly those two characters that we've learned about this week?
Well, Democrats and Letitia James would say so. A psychiatrist calls it projection, accusing others of doing what you did yourself. That civil case that Letitia James brought against Trump, alleging that he fraudulently obtained loans, was both legally absurd and quite obviously politically driven. James, you'll recall, campaigned on the promise to, quote, get Trump. And then she took office and searched through files and conjured up this inflated case against him. It's currently on appeal, and based on the oral arguments, which I listened to, it looks like those appellate judges also think that it was an illegitimate case. And in fact, they were highly critical, scathing comments toward Letitia James for contorting the law and targeting Trump. She abused her office to carry out a political vendetta. It's a classic example of, here we are again, deprivation of rights under color of law. That's a crime. The law forbids public officials from misusing their office to willfully deprive a person such as Trump of his constitutional rights. And as I, said to you earlier, I argued that the DOJ should consider using that very powerful statute to bring criminal cases against all of the lawfare prosecutors who targeted Trump for purely political reasons. So that, I think, is what the Albany grand jury is now considering, potential criminal charges against Letitia James. And I think they're on solid footing if they indict her. But, she also has another problem in Virginia. There's a separate grand jury investigating her there for committing, believe it or not, mortgage fraud by falsifying bank documents in order to gain more favorable loans, precisely what she accused Donald Trump of doing. She listed her home in Virginia as a primary residence. Well, wait a minute. She's an elected official in New York. And she may also have misrepresented the number of units in the dwelling. So I think that's the subject of a second separate grand jury.
We're speaking with Gregg Jarrett, Fox News legal analyst and a friend of the show here on the Annie Frey Show. We're always grateful to have you on and to discuss these huge issues with you. You mentioned the appeal process for President Trump in New York. It goes the conviction that he had in that fraud case. There's also the civil case. Was it E. Jean Carroll, the sexual assault case, or whatever the actual charges were that were levied against him? Are both of those going through the appeal process at this time?
Yes, they are. The civil judgment for the absurd, I think it was $454 million, will almost certainly get knocked down, if not tossed out entirely. The oral arguments were about a year ago, and it's actually completely crazy that they haven't issued a decision. But, in New York in particular, it takes a very long time for these people to do their jobs properly. I don't understand why, but that seems to be endemic in, the judiciary of New York. So we're waiting for that one. The E. Jean Carroll, who knows what will happen there. I think that could get tossed as well. So, sometimes the wheels of justice grind incredibly slowly, and you just kind of have to be patient.
There's no deadline. Is that right? For either of these? It's not like it will be determined within 5 years or 2 years or whatever. There's no deadline.
No, there's no deadline. Probably should be. Make them actually work as hard as I do. But they're judges, so they take their sweet time.
We're speaking with Gregg Jarrett, Fox News legal analyst. I wanted to ask you about Adam Schiff and this mortgage fraud case with him. Adam Schiff's response, he comes out, he very casually says, listen, every senator has 2 homes. I wonder what your thoughts are. The comparison of the case against Adam Schiff and mortgage fraud. Compare the details that they have against him, the evidence they have against Adam Schiff versus what the state of New York had against Donald Trump in his fraud case.
Yeah, well, Adam Schiff would be wise to hire a good criminal defense attorney because I think he's going to need one. He's looking at potential bank and mortgage fraud, wire fraud, mail fraud, false statements to a financial institution, defrauding the government. I mean, you add it all up. Just the bank fraud alone could be up to 30 years behind bars. He spent the better part of 2 decades misrepresenting his primary residence as both Maryland and California, obtaining favorable loans, lower interest rates. He took a tax exemption. The law entitles you to only one principal domicile. And that's it. And so, yeah, I saw his comments. I looked at them again yesterday. It was quite the diversion where he parsed words. Well, everybody has 2 homes. Yeah, but not everybody in Congress claims both of them as their primary residence. You can only claim one. And members of Congress do that. They claim one, and the other is secondary. And they quite normally, for obvious reasons, claim their primary residence as, the state and jurisdiction in which they're elected, right? Because that's election law.
Sure.
But Schiff is a lawyer, and so he can't really plead ignorance here. Not only that, he's a lawmaker that made the law that he appears to have violated. So, as I say, he needs a good criminal defense attorney because I think he's in serious legal jeopardy.
Gregg Jarrett, just to wrap up that specific, the Schiff situation, is it possible that his people did that for him and then he gets a document and he signs it because he trusts his people and he maybe didn't know exactly what was going on?
Well, I'm reminded of what Letitia James said in court about the Trump case she brought, that it's no excuse to blame other people for preparing the documents that you sign. And of all of the silly things that she has said, that was the one that she got right, that you can't blame somebody else in failure to read the document. These documents are not only signed, but they're notarized. So he was there. It's his signature. That's verified. And, ignorance is not a defense in cases of fraud.
In the Midwest, we say, "Oh."
Yeah.
Gregg Jarrett, we're thankful for your time here. We look forward to having you back. We know these stories are going to develop rapidly, and your expertise is so valuable here. We thank you.
My pleasure. Always good talking to you, Annie. Thanks.
Thanks. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye. Gregg Jarrett, Fox News legal analyst. Seriously, go to thegreggjarrett.com. Greg with 2 G's at the end, 2 R's in Jarrett, 2 T's in Jarrett. Thegreggjarrett.com. He's reporting on this stuff. And I mean, seriously, we got some light reading over the weekend. Get Witch Hunt. Get the Russia hoax. This man's been writing the story as it happened. And I just can't imagine what it's like to have these books out there who say everything where now there's evidence, more evidence that's coming out, more things are being declassified. And you're like, oh, that proves page number 162 of the Russia hoax. He's been ahead of the game. And yes, often probably labeled as some sort of conspiracy theorist by the people on the left who had this lapdog media that would perpetuate all of this bologna sausage lie and hoax that was manufactured by none other than top dog Barack Obama. What a time to be alive. What a time to be able to sit here and talk to you every day for 3 hours. There's so much to discuss. Ryan Wiggins, get back in here. Let's have a discussion. I've got another story that I want to bring to your attention. Greg Gutfeld, last night on Jimmy Fallon, what'd you think about it? Did you watch it? Did you take the time to tune in live? That's where people like to see those ratings come from. Did you watch Jimmy Fallon maybe for the first time in a long time? Let's discuss it when we come back. Don't go away. TheDinamoreGroup.com, 618-531-4652 is the number to reach Tammy directly. I, of course, you've heard me talk about wanting to build a home. When it comes time to list my home, there's only one place that I'm going to go. That's Tammy Dittamore and the Dittamore Group. She's an expert. She's also really kind, really generous, and really fun. And that permeates through her entire team. If you're working with Tammy or if you're working with Zach, Pat, Abby, and Trisha, you're going to have an A-plus team with 50-plus years of experience altogether working in Illinois and Missouri alike. The top team, the number one team in the number one office in the Metro East. That's the Dittamore Group. And I think you'll know quickly when you talk to them why people flock to the Dittamore Group and why they get such great referral business from the people they work with. You got to go see the Dittamore Group. You got to go see the Dittamore Group. There's a reason for that. The understanding that they have of the market at any given time, and it's day-to-day, folks. It's a crazy, wild time in real estate. They've got their finger on the pulse, and it's going to be yours to access when you connect with the Dittamore Group at 618-531-4652. 618-531-4652. TheDittamoreGroup.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
It's hard to parody. It's hard to cover a song like Jolene and do justice to it. But Miley Cyrus, man, of all the weird Miley Cyrus things that exist, she can sing. Do you like her voice?
I don't love her voice, but I do like that song. I like that cover. I like even more when she covered Dolly Parton's Wrecking Ball. I mean, that was a great cover.
that non-bell ring was perfect. Chef's kiss. Did you? Okay, so Greg Gutfeld was on Fallon last night. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Did you see President Trump talking about late night TV with the press
I've
corps?
got an entertainment-based question for you. A few weeks ago, Stephen Colbert announced that he was leaving the show. Howard Stern announced that he and Sirius XM Radio are parting ways. Do you think the hate Trump business model that's been in the entertainment business is going out of business because it's not popular with the American people?
Well, it hasn't worked, and it hasn't worked really for a long time, and I would say pretty much from the beginning. Colbert has no talent. I mean, I could take anybody here. I could go outside in the beautiful streets and pick a couple of people that do just as well or better. They get higher ratings than he did. He's got no talent. Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next. They're going to be going. I hear they're going to be going. I don't know, but I would imagine because they get, Colbert has better ratings than Kimmel or Fallon. You know that. Howard Stern, it's a name I haven't heard. I used to do a show, used to have fun, but I haven't heard that name in a long time. What happened? He got terminated?
Yeah, they're going to separate ways because I think what they're offering salary-wise is real low than what he's getting.
You know when he went down?
That's Tim
You
Cook.
know when he went down? No, before. When he endorsed Hillary Clinton, he lost his audience. People said, give me a break. He went down when he endorsed Hillary Clinton.
So, a little extra treat for the people on the live stream there. There's a X profile called Diaper Diplomacy. And if you're not if you're not on X, you need to get on X to follow only Diaper Diplomacy, because that whole clip, real exchange between President Trump in the Oval Office with the press while Apple was making its big announcement. So it's Tim Cook, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
The CEO of Apple is in the room, but the diaper diplomacy part of it is they use AI to use the cutest little baby characters for all of the people who are speaking. So we got to visualize that. So go that's a diaper diplomacy video. Go follow that account, and you'll just giggle with glee watching all of these crazy things unfold.
Yeah, if you didn't see it, they keep cutting to the people he mentions who just keep kind of side-eyeing.
And
like,
they look,
oh, why
you
am I
can
here?
tell, like, oh, that's a little baby Kimmel.
Yeah, they do look like him.
So Greg Gutfeld goes on Jimmy Fallon last night. We're going to talk about that in a second. But also the Howard Stern thing. Howard Stern, are you too young to be, like, in Howard Stern's...
Oh, no.
Like, did you listen to him?
I didn't. I had a lot of friends that were really
You did?
into
Good
Stern.
for you. That's
I had a lot of
exciting.
friends, period. Am I cool? Question mark. YouTube live chat poll. Let us know.
Is that how you talk, like, in life?
Yeah.
It's like...
I slipped
looks
into
like
regular Ryan there
Looks
for a
like the
second.
votes are 3-1.
Yeah. You like my new hat? Let me know. YouTube live chat poll.
That's like and subscribe, comment. Smash the like
that
button.
like button.
It's insufferable.
Yeah, no, Stern was huge when I was in high school and early college.
Were you allowed to listen to him?
I was allowed to listen to him. I just didn't like him. I just didn't. He is a great interviewer, but aside from that, I didn't really like it. I just didn't.
Brad?
I'd never really listened to Howard Stern. I mean, I wouldn't even know where I would have listened to him on local radio. I don't know if he was on any of our stations
I
around
think he
here.
was on the Point for a while, but then he moved to satellite right about when we would have been of
and
the age.
I was not a satellite radio subscriber at all.
No.
You think he was on the Point?
I think he was. He was on a local radio station. I thought it was the Point, but I'm not sure.
Somebody will tell us in the chat. Him not getting offered Howard Stern money, which nobody gets offered Howard Stern money. Howard Stern money is its own unicorn. Like, that doesn't exist for other people in a Sirius XM type of contract. Howard Stern put Sirius XM on the map.
Yes.
People were not like, people are like, why would I subscribe to satellite radio? I get this radio here for free. And look at the quality programming. Hi. YouTube live chat poll.
YouTube live chat poll. Do you love quality programming? Yes or no?
Really weird thing to go to the YouTube channel to vote no on. The industry, broadcasting as a whole, is rapidly changing so much because there is so much more to choose from. Selection is all over the place. It's gotten to the point where radio, in my opinion, is kind of coming back into an alternative popularity, specifically because people have gotten into podcasts, which is generally speaking spoken word. So when people normally would auditorily enjoy music, now you can get whatever music you want, whenever you want. You can DJ yourself. I think some people are kind of getting tired of being their own DJ. They like to discover music again. They understand radio can do that for you. But if they've also gotten into podcasts, now, essentially, what we're doing right now is a live podcast. But it's happening right now. And what was
Unless you listen to the podcast.
But unless, yes, then it was then.
Yes.
But when will then be now?
That's right. What I'm saying right now is something that I said earlier to you. Podcast listener.
But in the future.
But at the moment, it's live. Which really, technically, everything that's ever said in a moment is always live.
Except for now that's in the past.
That's true.
You can't, with so many more opportunities for people to choose and to select, you can't get these gigantic Howard Stern-like contracts anymore. But apparently Howard Stern's not getting Howard Stern money anymore, and so he's now up for grabs. He'll go somewhere, and his product will continue to be consumable, and his product will probably still continue to be consumed. But my question is the Howard Stern deficiency as much about, there's just a lot of fish in the sea now. Howard Stern's not the only one out there. You got the Joe Rogans of the world, and I don't know whoever the left is putting up these days. Not like Joe Rogan was put up by the right. He was actually walked away from by the left. But Howard Stern, in my mind, is a political figure. He's not Howard Stern. Like, if you knew Howard Stern before Donald Trump was on the scene as a political figure, you would know Donald Trump as a guest on Howard Stern, and they'd get along and they'd have conversations, and you know, that it was entertainment. I wonder if his fall from grace, is it a fall from grace? Is his lack of ability to pull in Howard Stern money have anything to do with politics? I have to think it does a little. I hear so many people say that the blue-collar audience that he built his career on, he turned his back on.
I would say it's three things. One is that he went political, hard political, and alienated a lot of the men who would be his audience. Probably a lot of white men who are not wanting to listen to that. Second is the technology. It's just shifted. There's so many other choices. But third is that just like any product, and he's weathered this better than most, any product has a core demographic, and if that demographic grows out of it, because he was like very juvenile radio for a long time. He didn't always do that.
Yeah.
But that's what he got famous doing.
That just is so 90s to me.
As the audience got older, they didn't want that anymore. So he adapted, but he couldn't quite adapt to his peak with that audience. So I think it's all three of those things.
Could be. It's usually a little more complicated than black and white. Here's Jimmy Fallon last night with Greg Gutfeld in the guest chair.
Your mom was actually a big part of the show.
That is right.
You actually named her a senior correspondent.
Yeah, I called her senior correspondent because she's 80.
Yeah.
And you know what her job was?
No.
Her job was to watch Fox News. She would watch Fox News and tell me what was going on during the day.
Yeah.
And it was like she was always upset because all the women wore short skirts. That was her thing. Because she says, I don't need to see their you-know-what. And I'm going, Mom, other people do.
But did she make for good TV, right?
She's great. In fact, here's the weird thing. You know, when you're growing up, you don't want your friends to meet your parents. You're always embarrassed about it. I brought my friends over, and they loved her. And then there were times when I would come home, and my friends would already be there.
Yes.
They'd be in the backyard with my mom.
I had that too.
Yeah,
my friends love my parents.
Yes, so they dumped me for my mom. So I realized at that point that she was good. Like she was no BS, and she was a supporter of everything I did, which is like your mom, and it's like it's a big deal, you know. And she saw Red Eye take off. She saw me on the 5. She didn't see me for the rest of the stuff, but that's probably well and good.
No,
you know.
She's probably proud. Very, very proud of you. Congrats on everything you've done. That's amazing.
So
it's good to have a supportive
that's Greg
mom.
Gutfeld, part of what he did last night. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Give him a grade.
Well, he was the host. I mean, he dominated the whole interview. His Fallon wasn't even there.
Did you like that he did that?
Not really. Although everything he was saying was funny. I mean, it was interesting stuff.
Give him a grade.
I'll give him a B because it was interesting, but I would have liked to had Fallon kind of introduce it a little more.
I was nervous the whole time.
Yeah, I get it.
I felt like when my kid goes to perform, and I'm like, I know they know how to do this, but this is the first time they're gonna go, maybe play a new sport or play at a new place, new team or whatever. It's like, I hope they do well. Like, it mattered about me, and I felt like he dialed it up to 11.
He did.
He seemed like he was sped up.
Yes. Yeah, he was at 1.5 speed on the podcast.
We could talk about it a little bit more. I want to get Brad's take, and I don't know if Ethan ended up watching it, but it was something. It wasn't what I expected, or maybe it wasn't what I'm going to say hoped for. That doesn't mean that it was a disappointment, but I'd love to get your feedback as well. Annie Fry YouTube live chat conversation if you want to throw your comments in there, and also our YouTube live chat poll for today is commenting on JB Pritzker's weight. Fair game, yes or no? Ethan, come in here. It's time for sports and local news on a Friday afternoon with Ethan Hannaford. Don't go away.
Imagine this, a summer evening, relaxing under a beautiful porch overhang, hosting your friends on a composite deck, or enjoying a bug-free breeze in a screened room. That sounds dreamy, right? Hi, it's Kim, and that dream can be your reality with Lakeside Renovation and Design because they specialize in creating outdoor spaces that make your backyard the go-to spot for family and friends. And with their attention to detail and the high-quality materials they use, you'll have a space that lasts for years. Visit lakesideRD.com today to get started on your outdoor oasis.
Baseball is all about stepping up to the plate when it matters most. And when you've been injured, you need a heavy hitter in your corner. At Morgan & Morgan, we don't back down. We fight to get you every dollar you deserve. No curveballs, no strikeouts, just results. That's why we've recovered over $25 billion for our clients and fight for them from offices nationwide. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Where do you go for your annual eye health examination? Ophthalmology Associates, of course. Doctors Greg Birdie and Ranjan Malhotra. Dr. Robert Bersati, he's the one I saw, or Dr. Andrew Royer. They are available to you and are there to take care of all your vision needs at Ophthalmology Associates. They're on Manchester Road, a half mile west of 270. Your vision is their business at Ophthalmology Associates. In fact, many of their patients are doctors themselves. That's why they call themselves the doctors, Ophthalmology Associates. Are your eyes itchy and scratchy? It could be more than just allergies. They're the leaders in dry eye diagnosis and treatment. They're the leaders in LASIK and discussing those procedures. And if you're having difficulty reading or driving at night, you have glare from oncoming headlights, could be early signs of cataracts, and they can talk to you about multifocal lens implants. Ophthalmology Associates, youridoc.com.
Today's YouTube live chat poll is commenting on Governor J.B. Pritzker's weight. Fair game. Yes or no? A lot of people weighing in on this one. Oh, man, I think I just did a pun. I did not mean to, but I'll own it and I'll accept it. And if you thought it was funny, it was on purpose. YouTube live chat poll. Let us know what you think. It's a yes or no question. 138. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Freedom has a frequency. 97.1 FM Talk.
97.1 FM Talk.
St. Louis Conservative.
I hope Ethan's ready for this one because...
Ethan, take it away!
Ethan, this is going to be much more hard-hitting news open. You ready?
No, he's not ready. He doesn't even have his microphone
good,
on.
hard-hitting news. Here we go.
Hold up. Check it out.
Grown Up Talk with Murphin Blurgelman.
Is it news bed? Now go.
Is this grown up talk?
Grown up talk.
No, you have to talk up talk the whole time.
With Murphin Blurgelman?
So does that?
I really hate up talk because it makes you sound like you're really stupid.
Grown up talk. What does that mean? Like,
it don't.
Like, does that mean?
Don't justify.
Don't go there.
Don't justify it with conversation.
Yeah, it's just the news. It's grown up talk.
Gotcha.
Grown up talk with Murphin Blurgelman.
Well, the first time I had to have the grown up talk, was with my mom and dad in like 5th grade. So I didn't know what kind of grown up talk we were talking about.
Well, maybe when you're done, you could have it with Ryan so he can be brought up to
It's your
speed.
segment. You can do that if you want to right here.
I like being on air,
We all
so
like
I won't
learning.
do that. A couple of different things going on this weekend in St. Louis. So if you're looking for something to do, then I have a couple of things for you. First off, tonight is Blues at the Arch. Yep, it is pretty self-explanatory. Blues Festival that's going to be right at the foot of the Arch. 10th year that they are doing this now. There's going to be food, shopping, and, of course, plenty of blues music, including the lineup says Jeremiah Johnson, U.V. Hayes, and Anita Jackson, as well as some other people as well. You guys fans of Chris Rock?
Yes.
Sure.
He makes me laugh, yeah.
Well, his little brother, Tony Rock, is going to be performing.
For the record, when you said Chris Rock and asked if I was a fan of him, I had to go through my Rolodex, and I went past Kid Rock before I came up with actual Chris Rock.
I don't think that's that crazy.
No, I like him.
I like Tony Rock's song Cowboy.
Is that a real thing?
It's a Kid Rock song.
Okay, gotcha. I had no idea. He's performing at Helium Comedy Club at the Galleria.
Cool.
And prices are varying
Don't you
between
know that
$30
guy,
and $45.
That guy's probably way funnier than Chris Rock, and he's the little brother.
You just never know. You never know.
Living in the
There's
shadow.
only one way to find out. That's to go see Tony Rock this weekend.
That it is. On Saturday is the firecracker race on the Mississippi River near Grafton. Have any of you ever heard of this before?
No.
It is a paddleboard race on the Mississippi River.
Paddleboard?
How does it incorporate firecrackers?
Is that like where you stand up and you paddle standing?
It says paddlers, sea kayaks, open kayaks, canoes, all a 15-mile race from Grafton to Alton.
On the Mississippi.
On the Mississippi.
Wait,
In
from
fact,
where to where?
Grafton to Alton.
Okay. It'd be cooler if you made the race be upstream, but go on.
Alton to Grafton.
Actually, it starts, the first sentence, right, that it entices you with says,
They end up in Memphis.
I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't strong.
At the end, they're going to be ripped.
Yeah. Next year, it's going to be a great race.
Yeah.
First sentence says, ever want to race down the Mississippi in a boat you paddle yourself?
No.
I can't say that I want to.
But if you are somebody.
I have always wanted to do that. We had this discussion on this show probably within the last 2 years that I thought it would be awesome to get in a boat in the Mississippi River and just see where you ended up. Because there's no
In the
law.
hospital.
There's nothing regulating that you can't do that. You can just get in the Mississippi River in a little boat if
What
you
kind
want
of
to.
boat?
Any boat you want.
A raft.
You could make the boat. You could buy the boat. You could have a Bezos yacht. Doesn't matter.
Gamble at the boat.
Get in that thing and just see where it takes you, and
It's
then
just
you end
so
up in New
gross.
Orleans.
It's just gross
In the
looking.
Gulf of America.
Speaking of gross New Orleans.
Isn't
then
it possible to think that, like, if you had to, could you float your way across the Mississippi River? Like, I obviously understand that if you start on point A on the west side of the Mississippi River, that you're not going to go perpendicular, that you're going to go quite a ways down with the current.
Like, could you physically go from one side to the other?
Yeah,
Is what you're saying.
you just have to get from the west side to the east side to the west side.
it's going to take you a little while, probably.
Sure, but isn't it possible? I don't know.
Well, possible, yes. I would probably die because I'm not very good at that.
Well, in my
But-
mind,
At swimming?
In my
Just
mind, it's like
anything.
people make it like it wouldn't be possible.
No.
Because the Mississippi is such a strong.
Because they always tell you, don't
mighty.
do anything stupid. Don't get in the Mississippi River.
That's
People
what,
always
That's
tell
what
you
everybody says in the bi-state area.
Whenever I'm standing
It's
there,
the first thing.
down on those cobblestone brick roads, people
in.
always like, "Now, don't you jump in there, young man." And I'm like, "Why?"
But could you? I mean, if you float on the top and you just kind of just
Are you in a boat?
No.
So you're saying just going straight across?
I mean, I know you're not.
I
gonna
get it. I get it.
Like you start here and then maybe you end up like 10 miles down, but you're on the other side. Is that possible that somebody could get across and survive that?
Brad?
I think people do that. I think people have done that. I think it's entirely possible. I mean, I wouldn't make a habit out of trying to do it, but if you're in a desperate situation, I think you could do it.
It says that the people. Ender says the undertow, or Kevin maybe said it. The undertow would get you.
Let's
so
see
like
if-
you can't.
So where it like sucks you down under or what?
Yeah, I guess
The
current
undertow
is so strong.
Everything that I hear about the undertow in the Mississippi has to do with the boats and stuff that are on it. Like you
Like
get
the
sucked under a
barges?
barge or something like
This
that.
fall,
That's so terrifying.
Annie Fry Show sponsored
Shut
event.
up.
Leah
No.
Thomas versus Riley Gaines starts at the arch.
Across the
Who
Mississippi.
can get across first?
Well, Riley Gaines is pregnant.
then I'm putting my money on Leah Thomas.
Only if Leah Thomas is also pregnant.
Ew.
Okay, if we can get him pregnant, then I think we got an event.
Ethan?
This started with talking about paddling from Grafton to Alton and ended up with Leah Thomas becoming
Never
pregnant.
know, do you?
Also, speaking of comedy, Shane Gillis is also performing at Enterprise Center tonight. Boy, that would be a fun one to
Who
go
is that?
to. Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis? I didn't hear who you said.
He's only like, the most popular comedian in the world.
Yeah,
Isn't he?
he's... No, I know. I just wasn't listening.
Appreciate that.
Happens
So
to the
I
best
see
of us.
why
Sorry.
I see the level in
Don't
which
act
my
like you
segment
guys,
is at
don't
now.
act like you guys don't do that to me 50% of the show.
Ryan, I completely understand everything you do now.
Oh,
it's
stop
for
it.
attention.
What?
Oh, that was mean. And then Sunday, as we heard about earlier, is the Jewish Festival at the Lewis and Clark Boathouse parking lot in St. Charles. Super cool area right on the river. So if you're in the area, go check that out.
Yep.
Okay. I have to get to this before we wrap. I
Okay.
don't know how much time I have, but I have to get to this.
You have that much time.
Okay. There is a special guest that is going to be sitting in the dugout next to Ollie Marmol over the next 2 games.
Is this an animal?
Nope.
You're
not an animal.
prefacing this like it's going to be like a really cute puppy.
You don't know who it is?
No.
Haley Joel Osment.
Somebody watch Happy Gilmore too.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I did.
I see
Yadier
dead playoff
Molina.
hopes. They're
Yadier
everywhere.
Molina is going to be back in his
Oh.
Cardinal uniform, sitting in with Ollie Marmol over
Why?
the next. As in, just.
Is he still technically part of the organization?
I don't think so. So basically, what happened?
You have gotten my full interest back.
So what happened is he is in town for an event. Ollie heard this and he said, "Hey, come and sit with us in the
Smart move,
in
Ollie.
the dugout. You'll be a guest coach these next couple of days, so he's gonna be full uniform. He'll be around for batting practice, and the next couple
We're
of
gonna
days,
win these games 63-0.
Yachty will be in the dugout
Can
with
we
Ollie.
play him? Can he be added to the roster?
I don't think. I
Can
don't
he
know
have
if you'd want him to.
Is this like a? No, I do.
He's-
I don't care what happens.
He's immediately the best.
This
catcher
is
on
not
the team.
banana ball, Annie.
It is the last game that I saw in the stadium.
If you're watching the Cardinals this weekend,
This weekend is Cards Cubs, right?
Cards, Cubs. Yep.
Man, that's
watch
fun.
for the Osment jersey. That's Yadier Molina.
Stop it! You're ridiculous.
I can't wait to ask you why.
Haley Joel Osment. For the people who are like, I think I've heard that name. That's the I See Dead People kid who's like 50 years old now. he's
I hate that he still has a career because he's this great reference.
He's a chief villain in Happy Gilmore 2.
He is, yeah.
Spoiler
He's
alert.
also in the new series of Wednesday. Wednesday Addams, nothing on Netflix. Seriously, you guys
Friday.
live under a
No, we know it.
rock.
No, we just have busy lives.
Okay, well, that was a fun segment.
Do you
of-
recommend it?
What was it called? Adult talk. Adult talk. I forgot what it was called.
Grown up talk.
Grown up talk. All right.
No, that's the after show. You can listen to that. I don't know. Follow Ethan on X at echan7.
What are you advertising for?
I don't
me?
know. Followers. We'll be right back. Stewart's American Mortgage he's got the bagel loan. So your phone call, 314-324-4440 to Stewie is going to start you down the path to a really, really smart financial decision with your home loan. Mortgages at Stewart's American Mortgage feature the bagel loan. You can't go anywhere else and get a bagel loan. If you want the bagel loan, you got to go to Stewie. You text him at 314-324-4440 or you call him at 314-324-4440. And if you qualify for it, and a lot of people do, you're going to be able to get the low rates that you qualify for, but you're going to pay $0 in closing costs at the end of that process. Then you got your secure loan and you are good to go. Stewie is trustworthy. I have worked with him twice on my personal mortgage refinance. One, I just refied for a lower rate. The second time, I took some cash out to make an improvement on my home. And I trust him. I trust him with other questions that I've asked him. I've gone to him and be like, hey, should I do this again? He's like, oh, I would maybe consider doing another thing. Regardless, when you work with Stewie, you're going to be working with someone you can trust, a business you can trust, and they're very successful in getting people just like you in the best possible mortgage situation for yourself. Remember, the bagel loan comes with $0 in closing costs. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
From border security to school choice, the Constitution to the culture war. Made in America. Heard in the Midwest. You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one who lives with you. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care, helping you with preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more.
A family member or friend that gets paid weekly. This Medicaid program is available to eligible St. Louis residents.
New to Medicaid? The Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 7,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. If you live in the St. Louis area,
this service is available through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers can choose to get paid weekly. So go to freedomcare.com now, or for faster service, call 314-697-4912. 314-697-4912. That's 314-697-4912.
Mark Cox in studio with Gloria Liu, broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and St. Louis real estate expert. Gloria, while most agents make big promises, you're famous for your upfront written guarantee.
That's right. My name is My Promise. While many agents promise you an unrealistic sales price just to get your business, I'll provide you with an upfront written guarantee stating if I cannot sell your home for 100% of market value, I'll pay you the difference.
Gloria, this is what sets you apart from others and why I only recommend you to my listeners, friends, and family. Friends, why risk working with just any agent when you can work with the best? Gloria Liu guarantees your sale price up front and in writing.
Absolutely. And if I don't, I will pay you the difference. The agent you choose in this changing market matters and could cost you or make you thousands.
Sell your home with certainty, confidence, and 100% of market value, or Gloria will pay you the difference. Call 314-325-6888 or visit gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com.
With conviction and clarity, The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Taxpayer dollars and account for forthcoming liabilities under Rule 5, Section 3 of House Rules, which authorizes fines for members absent without leave. 30% of each quorum-breaking member's monthly operating budget will be reserved and made unavailable for expenditure. Absent members must also appear in person to approve or enact any of the following: requests for travel reimbursement, personal action requests, including those increasing or decreasing staff salaries, approval for newsletters and House of Reproduction services. Failure to appear in person will result in the cancellation of your newsletters and the encumbered funds. We have all hands on deck. We are continuing to explore new avenues to compel a quorum, and will keep pressing forward until the job is done. Finally, today, Dr. Greg Bonin will file House Bill 3, the House's priority legislation for flood recovery and infrastructure funding, developed after 25 hours of testimony from Texans whose lives were upended by the July 4th floods. To those in California, Illinois, New York, or Massachusetts, wherever you may be, hear this. The bill cannot be referred to committee without a quorum. Every hour you remain away is time stolen from those Texans in need. Each one of you knows that eventually you will come back, and we will pass the priorities of the special session on the call. But with each passing day, the political cost of your absence is rising, and it will be paid in full. For the members' presence, I expect everyone to be here on Monday at the absolute latest. DPS is in the field to execute these warrants. Should they lead to the civil arrest of our absent colleagues over the weekend, you are on call. You will need to be available to return to Austin with a minimum of 6 hours of notice.
You've been listening to Dustin Burrows, the Texas House Speaker, laying it out there. They do not have a quorum. Those Democrats are still MIA. And first of all, a lot of state legislatures are part-time legislatures. Illinois is a full-time gig. Texas is a part-time legislature. They're not in session for the entire year. That's not how it works for them. They're not paid handsomely for what they do there. And what Speaker Burrows just did there, very smart move. They're trying to get relief passed for the Texas flood victims. Those Democrats who are not there providing a quorum for that business to be attended to are keeping those Texas flood victims from getting the assistance that they need. I don't know how they can politically overcome that. All the redistricting stuff, everybody knows the natural end to this is they're going to have to come back at some time. They're not going to be paid. The Texas Democrats who do not come to work are not going to be paid. They're being fined $500 a day for their absence. That's way more than they're making.
Yeah.
This isn't sustainable. These Texas Republicans are serious about this. But if the Texas Democrats want to make everything about power in the midst of this redistricting battle, show up and fight. You're probably going to lose. But you're losing based on the maps that are currently drawn right now. If you don't have the votes right now in the Texas legislature to win this fight, you don't get to win. That's just the way it is. And if you're willing to take your ball and go away from home to the state of Illinois under the wing of J.B. Pritzker, or New York, some of these other places under the wing of Governor Hochul, and abdicate your responsibility to these Texas flood victims, that to me is political suicide.
You know what's weird is that I can't remember other states, and maybe it's just that it didn't make as big a news, other states doing this in the way that Texas does. Maybe it's because the rules are different and Texas uses them to their advantage, Texas Democrats. But Texas Democrats have done this multiple times in recent memory. They did it last time in 2021, and it lasted 6 weeks where they all stayed out of state. Can't remember what the issue was. I just remember that it was 6 weeks. So how long can they go here? I don't know, but this is big drama because I've also seen that, yes, they're going to take away their funding. They're going to do $500 a day, but that big Democrat donors are going to cover that for them.
Well, and I think that Attorney General for the state of Texas, Ken Paxton, is saying that that's taking bribes.
Ooh,
which is
another wrinkle.
Which is actually a felony.
Interesting.
So how will it end? What we do know is that it will end. There's no clock that they can wait out on this issue. If these families who have mourned the loss of so much in the wake of those Texas floods are not given the assistance that they need to recover, at least financially, emotionally, they'll never be able to, because these Texas Democrats are hanging out in the state of Illinois, that's a huge problem. Ask us anything in the next hour. Your comments on the YouTube chat. We'll be right back.
It's Mark Libby with news for listeners who, like me, want to learn more about Bitcoin. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club is coming to St. Louis later this summer. The Bitcoin Ben Crypto Clubs teach members what Bitcoin is, how to buy it, how to safely store it, and how to avoid scams. And we'll connect with others like us who want to learn more about crypto. St. Louis will be the 7th club nationwide and Ben's hometown. If you want to know more about Bitcoin, you need to know Bitcoin Ben. Learn more at bitcoinben.io. That's bitcoinben.io.
With the heat we have here in St. Louis, just a note, most air conditioners aren't set or able to handle 100 degrees without running constantly. So before you freak out and think your air conditioner is bad, here's a few tips. If you don't have ceiling fans in your bedrooms, you can get pedestal fans and put them in your room. Keep those running all the time. On a second-story house, put one pedestal fan on top of your steps and blow it into the foyer area up high so it's cooling the heat as it's coming up and circulating the air. If you have an attic fan, simple, quick fix, plastic bag, cut it up, and duct tape, because what's happening is it's sucking in all your attic air and the heat and humidity from the outside. Try those things before you call anybody or you call me. But if you did that, please call me, Bart, Inman, 314-293-2600. Remember, 0% financing is available for most up to 60 months. God bless.
Big news for gun owners. Mark Cox here for the Range St. Louis West. You know, the big, beautiful bill eliminates the $200 tax stamp on suppressors next January, but the Range is celebrating right now. They're holding a sweepstakes for a new suppressor at the Range. The Range will give you a $300 credit toward the new suppressor, and they'll pay for the tax stamp. Suppressors protect your hearing, and they improve your accuracy. Sign up to win at therangestl.com/971 before August 15th.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
The House is adjourned again. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Members, may I have your attention? The roll has been called and a quorum has not been established.
Texas House Speaker Dustin Burrows there, still unable to move forward with a vote on a more Republican-friendly congressional map, with dozens of Democrats out of state all week refusing to come back. Besides arrest and expulsion threats, Burrows last night ordered salary direct deposits suspended, and today announced a hold on 30% of the Democrats' monthly operating budgets to be canceled if they don't return. The Justice Department's opened a new investigation into New York's Attorney General.
A grand jury has convened in Albany, New York, to consider allegations against the state's Attorney General, Letitia James. Sources tell Fox News Digital the Justice Department is focused on a possible deprivation of rights case against the Attorney General connected to her successful business fraud civil suit against President Trump.
Fox's Jared Halpern, a mortgage fraud investigation against James was opened in May. A federal appeals court tosses a judge's contempt finding against the Trump administration.
The 2-1 ruling from the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals is a win for the Trump administration over the deportation of suspected Tren de Aragua members to an El Salvador prison. At issue was the probable cause contempt finding in April by Judge James Boasberg over what Justice Department lawyers had told him about the deportation timeline. Boasberg had accused Trump administration officials of rushing deportees out of the country under the Alien Enemies Act before they could challenge their removal in court. He also said the attorneys had willfully disregarded the order that planes already in the air should return to the U.S. The 3-judge panel consists of 2 Trump appointees and 1 Obama appointee who dissented. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
And a 4th federal judge is ruling to block the president's executive order to end birthright citizenship. There have been class action lawsuits. The Supreme Court ruled judges can't just block presidential orders nationwide. America's listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
August is doing what August likes to do in St. Louis. Sunny, hot, and humid through the afternoon. 95 for the high. Slow down, take it easy. Tonight, clear, warm, humid. 90s for evening plans. 76 for the low, but at least the days are getting shorter. Saturday, sunny, hot, and humid. 95. And Sunday, mostly sunny. And let's call it 93 Sunday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show Live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the preferred partner plan, and stay cool this summer. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's up, that's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Like, you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Ryan Wiggins' finest work right there on a Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock.
I peaked early. That was like the first year on the show.
That was not when you were on the show.
That was right.
Before you were on the show.
That's right. Yeah.
So early that it's only ever been downhill.
Yeah. I've never done a great job on this show. It's only worse every day.
When I was at the seminar, the Retirement Advisor Group seminar, more people talking about kind of like in a side voice, like, yeah, like kind of like Ryan Wiggins.
Hey, I love it when you quietly say that.
Yeah. It's like it's true, but they're not proud of it.
That's kind of my career. It's like, that guy's okay, but nobody wants to admit it.
I really don't want to like him, but I do.
Something about the stupidity of the things that come out of my mouth.
You peaked early.
Must be just endearing enough.
Did you hear about this new Illinois law requiring an annual mental health screening for public school kids?
Yes.
What do you know?
I know that when Illinois does it, I think there's probably more to this than is on the surface.
Fox News reports that there's going to be a required annual mental health screening for public school students. It's drawing backlash from parents, policy experts, and lawmakers who warn the policy may overstep boundaries and wrongly label children. Illinois wouldn't do that.
This is where it starts to get dicey.
This is a Fox News article by Morgan Phillips. J.B. Pritzker signed the measure on July 31st, making Illinois the first state in the country to mandate mental health screenings for students in grades 3 through 12. So third graders in Illinois public schools are now going to have a J.B. Pritzker approved mental health screening test done. Where? In the classroom, when your parents aren't around, right? The law set to take effect in the 27-28 school year directs schools to provide self-conducted screenings each year using digital or paper forms. Parents will have the ability to opt their children out. I repeat, parents will have the ability to opt their children out. My opinion is, and no, I don't send my kids to public school for reasons like this a bit, I would opt out if it were my kids completely. Fox News reports that supporters say the initiative will help schools identify early signs of depression, anxiety, or trauma before they develop into crises. But critics argue the plan could create more problems than it solves. A fellow at the Manhattan Institute wrote on X, Abigail Schreier, quote, "I want to be on the record and crystal clear. Is there any other kind?" No, that's my This is a disastrous policy that will do vastly more harm than good. Watch as tens of thousands of Illinois kids get shoved into mental health funnel and convinced they are sick, many or most of which will be false positives. Catherine Boyle, a partner at venture capital from Andreessen Horowitz, also raised concerns about the government overreach and what she called, quote, the mental health industrial complex. Boyle wrote, quote, "If a school nurse or a state-mandated mental health test tells you you're sick, you're going to believe them." Boyle wrote, "This is why so many families are opting out of primary school completely. The overreach is astounding." How many ways can this go wrong? A kid sitting in a classroom, I mean, they've got extra time on their hands. Have you seen these test scores? They're like totally excelling. Only if you were educated in the Illinois public schools and you don't understand what numbers mean would you think that these test scores are excelling for Illinois students. Illinois education officials say the screenings will not be diagnostic and are designed to flag students who may benefit from further evaluation. The ISBE, or the Illinois State Board of Education, will develop the screening tools and guidelines by September 26, and school districts will be responsible for implementing them. The state superintendent, Tony Sanders, said in a statement, quote, "Mental health is essential to academic readiness and lifelong success.
too often we only recognize a student's distress when it becomes a crisis. With universal screening, we shift from reaction to prevention. Folks, do you know that educators, if you're in the state of Illinois, maybe it's the case in the state of Missouri as well, do you know that if you're an educator and in your classroom, John comes up to you and says, I'm not John anymore, I'm Jenny. I identify as female. I don't identify as male. If they tell the teacher that, if you're not allowed to tell the parent. You're not allowed to tell the parent. The kids at home, the parents come in and they say, I don't know, something's going on with John. He's been really reserved lately. He doesn't really talk the way he is. Something seems to be up. I noticed that his grades are slipping. We want to do everything we can to help John succeed. The teacher cannot say, do you know that John goes by Jenny? Or if at school can be required by the school district to refer to John as Jenny, but can't refer to John as Jenny in front of the parents because they can't out John for being Jenny at school to the people who created him. And now J.B. Pritzker and the state legislature are like, I think we're going to screen these kids for their mental health. We're going to decide for these kids. They need to be tested. They need to be profiled. We need to know what's going on with these kids so that we can get ahead of the game. Hell no. Oh, this makes me so mad.
Yeah, this isn't going to do anything. It's if it does anything, it'll spend money. It'll diagnose kids. It'll what's the word that they just used? I've never heard that before. The mental health industrial complex.
Yes.
Very, very well
lucrative.
Put. Very well put. And I would say that this is, I'm going to come up with a new term here, weaponized compassion, that you hear it and on
Faux
first
compassion.
blush, it sounds like something you go, well, why would anybody be opposed to that? That sounds good. Well, it's not to do what they're saying it's going to do. It's going to do a lot of other things. It's going to spend a lot of money. First of all, it's going to support a lot of people probably that they all are friends with in these unions and these school unions and add more government spending to them. It's also going to just it gives incentive to diagnose more. So if a kid has some issues, well, let's diagnose him and then let's put him into this system and then let's label him and give him or her an out, give him an identity in that illness. It's all a system.
Do I trust the state of Illinois to identify what is mentally healthy? No. You can go into a classroom in the state of Illinois and see a teacher who might be very forward with their sexual preference. That's what it really boils down to. That could be a priority imposition on any human who walks into that classroom that quickly you want to understand this is a top priority for me. Like you could go into a math teacher's classroom and they've got all these like goofy pictures of Albert Einstein and, equations and, other math puns and all that type of stuff. You're like, okay, I'm in nerd math world, which is honestly where you want your kid to be when they go into their math classroom. You could go into a history classroom, an American history classroom, and you could see pictures of presidents or battles or different, the American flag over the course of the birth of the United States of America, when the initial Betsy Ross flag up to where it is. You could see all that type of stuff. When you go into a classroom and the teacher has the ability to create a classroom that reflects what they want their kids to feel and experience when they're in there, and those classrooms do exist. And that can easily be perceived as a questionable foundational relationship that a teacher has with their kids. I don't need to know anything at all about the life of that teacher outside of their responsibility of educating these kids. If you want to put some personal effects in the classroom to identify, if you're married to somebody of the same sex and you've got a picture of you two together on your desk, I don't think that there's a problem with that. That is legal in this country. And you love that person and they're your family. Okay. But to suggest that these lifestyle choices, which
in many, 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 many cases, scientifically, statistically speaking, a lot of these, when you're talking about mental health, along with the lifestyle choices that are being thrust upon our children, are accompanied with a whole lot of other sort of mental health concerns that need to be coped with. How are we turning this over to a state where the people of the state of Illinois don't inherently agree top to bottom with what the mental health assessment of the state of Illinois would be? To say, oh, this kid's mentally healthy. This kid needs to be, there are a lot of different sorts of organizations in a school. I encourage you to check out the different types of organizations that exist in the middle schools and the high schools where you're at, where kids can choose to like participate in a club or whatever, and see how many activist groups exist in those schools right now, and see how many of the activists, how many of them exist anywhere near the center or the right. There aren't many. It's not a frequency, but there are a lot that are not just in existence, but also prioritized and platformed in a much broader case than simply just existing. The state of Illinois is in no position to be doing this, and I really, 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 really encourage you, if you're sending your children into the public system in the state of Illinois, you might have a great district. And there are a lot of great districts out there. There are a lot of great teachers out there. There are a lot of, really great schools in really great districts. There might be great schools in kind of questionable districts, but you have to be your number one advocate for your child. And if you think your kid needs help, I really, really, really compel you to get your child the help they need that isn't going to come from an unsupervised assessment done during the class. This to me is very, very concerning.
It seems very obvious that this is going to exacerbate a lot of problems in schools with kids that might have a few issues, but have now been labeled and now own that identity and run with it. And that is, to me, the epitome of the left's overuse of empathy to make you feel like you have to do something here when you really should leave well enough alone.
One more instance of government inserting itself right in between the child and the parent.
Yeah.
Like that, constantly trying to create a scenario where the parent, you guys aren't needed here. We got this. And they're always implemented when the parents aren't around. Remember, the highest rate of tourism in the state of Illinois is abortion tourism. You can come here and get an abortion. You don't need nothing to do it. Just come here and get an abortion.
Just real quick, the other way to implement this would be to offer it to all kids with the parent. Oh, do you think there might be an issue with a kid? Let's have the parent come in. Let's talk to them.
Have you seen these types of assessments at pediatrician visits?
Maybe.
I have. The first time, and I was shocked by it. The second time, I'm like, we're good. We don't need that.
Maybe I haven't then.
Pay attention to those things when you're taking your kids in as well. Let's take a quick break. Next question, next segment, ask us anything. We'd love to answer your questions. We'll be right back.
If you have been in a car accident in the past and have settled your case, I may have some good news. Some unethical lawyers have people known as runners who come directly to your hospital room or home and solicit your case. It's a disbarable offense. Anyone that would hire these scumbags needs to have their heads examined. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Now for the good news. If this happened to you, we will sue these lowlifes and fight to get all your fees back. And then look and see if these bottom feeders also malpractice your case and sue them for that too. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Visit forthepeople.com for a free consultation or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. If someone does this to you, call the Bar Association and report them. Let's fight these bums. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Live, local, and conservative. It's the Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
Next question. It's a legitimate question.
Next question.
Next question, please.
Next question on the Annie Fry Show.
All right, it's Friday afternoon. We like to answer your questions to wrap up our show before we hand it over to Mark Reardon on the Mark Reardon Show. Ryan, how about you first? What do you got?
I got a hypothetical for you.
Okay.
Which button will you press? The red button gives you an instant $1 million. The green button gives you a 50% chance at $100 million or zero.
$1 million. No questions.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the instant button, the red button.
You take the one for sure?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Man, I had a hard time with this question. I sit here and look at it and I still don't know.
What would $1 million do to your life?
$1 million would change my life in that I would take a lot of money and put it into a lot of investments.
And then you'd have a lot of money.
And then I'd have a lot of money, but going from 0 to 100 million, that's 1 million. You still got to work. 100 million.
1 million, you get to work how you want to work.
But you work how you want to work.
Like, is your goal right now to just sit on your duff?
No. But I would take 100 million and still do a lot with it, though. I could just do bigger things.
You could have zero. Isn't the possibility of you having zero enough to say, no, this is easy?
No, it's not.
Oh, my gosh. How would you live with yourself if you had the opportunity to have $1 million and you ended up with zero because you wanted 100?
If I talked it through with my wife, then we'd be okay. If I hadn't and I just took it, then we'd have some problems. Okay, well, that was easy for you guys. I thought that would be a harder question.
I mean, if you think about, if you got off the air today and you got a call and said, Ryan, long-lost relative, heard you on the Annie Fry Show and loves her.
This is fictional.
Hypothetical, completely. If you're the heir that they wanted to leave this to and they've got a lot of money and they left you $1 million, it'd be like maybe the best day of your life.
Oh, it'd be incredible. I'm not downplaying it. I'm just saying that I hope,
there's no part of you that would be like, oh man, it could have been $100 million.
There are a lot of people listening right now, though, that they have $1 million. They have $1 million. They're either going to retire soon or they already are. They probably have more than that.
They spent their whole life
They spent their whole life making it, but they have it. They have it now. I wonder how they would answer that question. Because you already have $1 million. You already have what you need. The life phase does matter. I mean, our life phase, I think I understand what you're saying. It would change your life completely because we're still working. We're in our early 40s. But
if someone gave you $1 million today, would you keep coming to work here?
Yeah, absolutely. I would.
I would.
Brad wouldn't. He told me earlier. He goes,
like,
"Don't tell anybody." But if I had $1 million, sayonara.
You're picking the $1 million, Brad?
Yeah, I'm picking the $1 million. I mean, I'm a big fan of taking the guarantee over whatever, and I'm young enough that you can parlay that $1 million into $100 million.
Yeah, that makes sense why Ryan wouldn't.
Because I'm not young enough.
Less time.
Yeah,
Man, you guys got some jokes today. You guys are really rolling with those jokes.
Speaking of the YouTube live chat poll, it's commenting on Governor J.B. Pritzker's weight. Fair game. I think it's lazy and it's low-hanging fruit, and I'm a no on is commenting on J.B. Pritzker's weight. Fair game. No, comment on the issues. You don't need to do that. Ryan, you?
I'm a yes that it is fair game, even though I don't tend to grab the low-hanging fruit. Seems
Brad?
a little easy.
I'm a yes, but I just don't think it's very productive.
So, fair game, yes.
Yeah.
Worth your time.
Not really.
Not really. Brad, next question.
Do you guys remember the very first day after you got married? After, like, I don't know if you guys went on honeymoons right after you got married or whatever, but you're like in the house with your husband or your wife, and you're looking at them and like, we're married. We're married. Now what?
Right.
I do. I remember that. That's weird. And especially because...
Did you live together beforehand?
No, we didn't. We did a weird thing, though, where she had to move here. So she lived in Columbia, Missouri, but she had to move here that whole summer because she's a teacher. So she lived in my house because I had a house, but I didn't sleep there. So I kind of still had all my stuff there, but I just would go to a friend's house to sleep. It was more symbolic than anything.
Sure.
But we didn't live together technically for that reason.
Are you raising your children to not live with their...
I don't even think we've talked about that
No,
yet.
I mean, is that your thought right now?
Yeah.
That would be the expectation.
That's the goal. That's the goal. Still the goal. And it's so rare that is talked about, but that is still the expectation for us. And when we talk about that stuff, I think we probably do imply that. Although we talk about college and what that's going to be like with them a lot right now, too.
Yeah. Those conversations about relationships and stuff, those will happen naturally. It's not really a have to sit down and talk about it, but you'll have plenty of opportunity for that.
The first day after we got married, I do remember we had to go with all of our new in-laws, my family, her family, and just sit there and open presents. It was odd. I just remember sitting there thinking, okay, I guess we're married now. We're doing a different event today.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember being overwhelmed with happiness just from like, we did it. Now, like, I was thinking I'd be really sad when the wedding was over and the reception was over and all of this stuff that we'd spent like 7 or 8 months planning, like, it's all over. And it was like, it's over and now we just get to be married. Like, now we just get to get on with our lives and we're on the other side of this. And I just remember being really excited about that. What about you?
It was surreal for me. I think my situation was a little bit different than you guys because you guys each lived on your own before you got married and married. I have never lived on my own. I lived at home with my parents, and then after I got married, I moved in with my spouse.
It was an arranged marriage.
Yeah, 2 cows, and I was in. No.
Care to explain that a little further? Or?
Yeah, it was a dowry.
Okay.
No.
I got the cows.
Yeah. No, I
Wow,
gave them to her father.
Oh, okay.
That's how that works, Ryan. You don't pay your wife to marry you.
Well,
you kind of do. You give her a wedding.
It's cultural.
But anyway, no. In all seriousness, I moved out of my parents' house and into my home with my wife, and I remember that first day waking up.
Do you regret not living on your own?
No. I mean, if I wanted to live on my own, I would have. But to me,
Why didn't you?
It made more sense to just why would I pay for rent and stuff like that?
To be free?
He's a fiscal conservative.
I was like ready at 14.
Wait, yeah, but I mean, I really didn't have like no freedom at that point. I mean, I was what, 26?
Independence, autonomy.
Yeah, I had all of that. Even though I was
and a room
and a place that I didn't have to pay for. And
that's not 100%. You have to bear the burden of the struggle for the sake of your independence. That's definitely what I felt. My parents were like,
see, that's also conservative. I don't know which one of you is
so
more
ideological, though.
Yeah.
What's ideological?
That you have to bear the burden of it for your independence.
No, I wanted to. It's not about what other people do. For me, I needed to be out. I needed to succeed and fail on my own because I didn't want any element. My parents are listening right now and they're like, this is accurate. I didn't want any element of tether of obligation. Like, I wanted to be truly on my own. And they probably were pretty happy that I wanted to get out as well.
See, I think my parents and your parents had the same mindset, and I just had a different reaction. But for me, it was more about like coming out of that and into a marriage without debt, without bringing in a bunch of that. And by staying at home, I was able to pay off medical debts that I had and pay off the engagement ring. I didn't bring any debt into our marriage, which was really exciting.
Decide which one of you was more conservative. You who were like, I'm going to go forge this and manifest destiny.
I think I worked totally. I forged the West into Glen Carbon.
Or Brad, who was living in his parents' basement. I can't decide which.
Well, for me, it wasn't about fiscal responsibility. It was just about personal freedom. Like, I've always been an independently minded person. And this is also to say, my parents never once kicked me out of the house or even alluded to, Annie, it's time to go. I went and lived at SIUE for 2 years. As a freshman, I lived on campus in the dorms. And then as a sophomore, I was a resident assistant. So they were like, you can live on campus, but you need to at least attempt to be an RA because it covered room and board. And so I did that. And then I came home after my sophomore year, got over in May, and lived at home for 6 or 7 months. And it was like, this doesn't work. I can't. I 100% understand this too. If I was gone at night, hanging out with friends or whatever, I wasn't an irresponsible person. I didn't go out and do stupid things or whatever. But if I was hanging out at Jared's apartment because his apartment was next door to one of my best friends, so there were girls that lived right next to boys. It was just like friends. And everybody would hang out there. We'd watch movies, party or whatever. If I was there till 2 a.m. and I wasn't checking in, my mom was worried about me, which I would totally be worried about my kid. And I needed to not be... I needed my mom to just worry all the time instead of when I wasn't home. Like, I couldn't live a social life and have my own independence without going, I got to get out of here. Would it have been better financially for me? Probably. But it wouldn't have been good for my launch into adulthood. I'll say that. Next question. You got another one real quick?
Tetherball. Yes or no?
I think I remember playing it when they installed the tetherball things at a playground that I think I tried it once, and I was like, this is more fun than I thought it would be.
Let's dig into that a little bit more.
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
Moving out of this conversation.
Okay.
Brad lives there. Brad?
I still don't know the rules of tetherball. Like, the goal is to get the ball wrapped around the pole? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I never played it, never really had it.
It's a metaphor for life, though, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, I know you've been waiting for the time where you can reach the ball. You started it.
You
started it. You started. You want to take this show and run it into the ground? You're close to the ground. I'll run it in right next to you.
You win. Because that was one of the worst questions I could have come up with.
Yeah.
And you handled it well.
Thank you. Let's do more on the other side of the break.
Sounds good.
Maybe less with Ryan. Maybe more. You let us know what you think. Our question for you folks on the YouTube live chat poll is commenting on J.B. Pritzker's weight. Fair game. Yes or no? Let me peek here at the results a little bit. 230 votes in. You need to get over there and weigh in and tell us what you think. I'll read a comment here from Chad. Said, I hate saying anything about anyone's weight, but he obviously thinks that we're all idiots in Illinois. Yeah, that's a fair statement. I agree with that, Chad. Let us know what you think. We'll be back in a minute.
I found myself in this bar.
TheDiamondShop.net. They're also located in Clayton. If you want to give them a look-see right there on the website, TheDiamondShop.net. Scroll to the bottom of the website. You can learn about them. You know, they've been in the St. Louis area since 1910. That is some longevity. You got to be doing something right, very right, to be able to exist for that long. When you go see Tom and Mona, Nikki, the staff, the crew, the experts at the Diamond Shop, you're going to understand why people become generational clients, customers of the Diamond Shop. Like I was saying, on the website at thediamondshop.net, you scroll to the bottom. There's a little form you can fill out right there. You could become a VIP at the Diamond Shop. I have. I hope you will too. When you are a VIP, you get extra savings quite often throughout the course of the year. Through August 16th, they have a summer clearance and estate sale going on. Red tag clearance up to 70% off, 50% off all estate pieces as well. And if you took my advice and you became a VIP there at thediamondshop.net, you can add an extra 10% savings with your VIP status on that red tag clearance items. Online at thediamondshop.net.
Hi, this is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, certified financial planner, and the host of the Jill on Money podcast. This is the show where your money is not scary. It's a show that's all about you. It's your questions that make it possible for me to provide unconventional and entertaining insights on your money, and more importantly, on your life. Listen and follow Jill on Money on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Are you nearing retirement and don't know if you have enough money saved to retire? That is scary. Do you have a written retirement financial plan in place? Well, when it comes to retirement planning, the trusted team at Financial and Tax Architects are the best. They've helped people all over St. Louis retire with confidence. And that's what you want. You want to retire with confidence. Now, they offer a one-night, 2.5-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. They hold these at colleges over the St. Louis area and in Illinois. No cost, no obligation, just learning. And at this class, you learn how to avoid costly mistakes, how to maximize your income, how to reduce taxes in retirement. So call them today, 314-888-5101, or visit fta-ria.com and take the first step toward a smarter retirement. 314-888-5101.
The YouTube live chat poll today is commenting on Governor J.B. Pritzker's weight. Fair game. Yes or no? Let us know. There's some lit comments on this, and we are reading them all, I promise. It is 2:36, and this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
From the gateway city to the front lines of freedom. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
You had my heart, and we'll never be worlds apart. Maybe in magazines, but you still be my star. Baby, 'cause in the dark, you can't see shiny cars. And that's when you need me there. With you, I'll always share. Because when the sunshine, we shine together. Told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be your friend.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. The YouTube live chat poll, as Ryan just mentioned, is commenting on J.B. Pritzker's weight. Fair game, yes or no? Come vote in the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll and let us know what you think. Next question. Do you have a real one, or was the tether ball the last one that you had?
Well, that was the best one I had, but this one
I'll
pales
be
in
the judge.
comparison. It's kind of an internet question, one that was floating around, and I liked the question because I don't know the answer that you will give. Does anyone actually like Coke Freestyle machines?
Oh, I do.
I do too.
Yeah.
But the post was written in such a way that most people don't.
What
So
don't
you
they
guys
like
do.
about them? I don't like when they don't work.
Yeah.
Well, that is one of the reasons why people say is that there's a lot of buttons that don't work. They're hard to use. They do get sticky and messy real easy. I will say that. They are not the easiest thing to use, but I love those things because of the variety. Well, that was an easy question.
The stupid thing is going and get to a Coke freestyle machine and get Diet Coke, which I sometimes do.
And I feel bad. Anytime I do it, I'm like, oh, man, I just got Dr. Pepper. I could have had Dr. Pepper with lemon lime.
Something.
Or whatever.
My question is, what's your most useless hidden talent? Is there anything you're really good at, but it doesn't really... My useless hidden talent, I've talked about this on the airs. I can name, like, you give me a number, and I can name a 90s, 2000s baseball player for the St. Louis Cardinals who has that number.
That's a cool talent.
It's not really helpful in any regard.
I'm getting mine ready.
What you're going to do? I was going to say, why are you resituating in the room here?
Okay, I gotta have a lot of light to do this for some reason, but I can make my eyes jiggle back and forth real fast.
This is the best radio that we've ever done.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it in the camera. Let's see if I can do it. It's kind of dark in here still.
Oh, I know what you're doing.
There we go. Can you see it or not? Are they jiggling?
Yeah,
a little bit.
You just look like a demon.
Just staring into the camera.
As
really.
a moving, though? As a listener, all you hear Ryan going, "Are they jiggling?
Are they jiggling?" And now we know what this hour
Those
is
aren't
called.
your eyes.
Tune into the camera to see if they're jiggling. I'm going to keep doing it while we talk.
Brad?
I don't. I have useless talents that could be useless, but they're not useful for anything that I do.
That's useless talent.
So
yeah.
What? Say that again. I have
they're
useless talents.
useful talents, but they're not useful for anything that I do. But if somebody else had them in their job, it might help them do their job. But it's things like color coordination, knowing which colors work together, doing design like uniform designs, baseball, softball jerseys, and that sort of thing. I'm good at that, but I don't use it in anything that I do. So.
We can have uniforms. You can design them.
Check out my elbow now.
Yeah, nothing.
Oh! Put it back! You!
I can do it with both arms, too.
They don't. Elbows aren't supposed to bend that way.
What is it doing?
That's called hyperextension.
This is like in The Exorcist when she goes up the stairs.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Can you do that too?
Looks like a lever. Yeah, I can walk up
That
walls.
makes me lightheaded.
Crab walk up walls and ceilings. Just FYI. That's a useless talent. It scares people.
It's not, it's just useless.
If
I
you
don't know
do
that
it-
it's a talent.
I'll tell you what, if somebody falls asleep in the living room and you crawl up your own wall and ceiling doing the crab walk and then you start screaming, that is just something that scares people no matter who they
That
are.
is so gross. Super gross. Next question. Ryan.
Oh, no. Next question.
Brad.
Can we revisit tetherball or
No,
Brad?
I got one here. What was the worst concert you've ever been to, and why was it the worst?
I don't go to concerts really, unless they're good.
The worst concert I ever went to, and this is a weird one because I really liked the first one, is I went to see one of my favorite bands, Supergrass, in Chicago in the early 2000s.
Is that the Supergrass?
That's Space Hog.
Oh, same thing.
You're close. But Supergrass, they do All Right is their famous song. And you'd know it if you heard it. We are young, we are free. And that one is their big hit.
That's Mary Poppins.
No, it's not. So, Supergrass was playing in Chicago, and a friend of mine and I decided to go see them. And we decided, oh, they're doing 2 nights. Let's go both nights. And it was a terrible decision. The first night, we're like, this is a great concert, really good show. They didn't really interact with the audience much, which I like a lot when bands do. If they're just out there playing the songs, it's like, I could just listen to the CD. But anyway, decent show. Second night, exact same carbon copy show. I'm like, why are we here? This is a complete waste of time and
Did you
money.
think that they messed up or that you messed up?
That I messed up.
Like,
yeah, they didn't really do anything
you
wrong.
had expectations that were maybe not realistic.
They maybe changed one song out, and we were like, yay! But it was the same show, and we just were like, this was a bad decision.
Brad?
Worst concert I ever been to was a Winter Jam. I don't remember which one it was, but those things.
What is Winter Jam?
So
$10.
Yeah, $10 to get in, general admission seating. So you got to get there super early and wait in line. It's usually like January, so you're outside of whether it be the St. Charles Convention Center or the Enterprise Center for 2.5 hours with your youth group, freezing your rear end off, waiting to get into this to see a band that's going to play maybe 2 songs, and there's like a longer break as they switch over for the next band, and the actual band gets to play.
And here's the guitar player from New Song to introduce that band.
Yeah, and it's loud for the sake of loud. It's not like a good mix. It's just
sounds like you're an old man.
Just turn everything up.
How old were you when you went?
28.
You were a conservative young man.
Oh, gosh. It was like, I've been to concerts where it's a blast. I saw Lecrae at the Fox. I've seen Third Day at the Fox. Those concerts were amazing. And they were loud, but they were fun. And there was like, this is just geared toward 12 to 15-year-olds.
Oh, no. I forgot about the worst concert I ever went to. Oh, no. This is a terrible story. I have to tell it because I've never told this before. Have you guys ever heard of a Christian artist named Leighton Howerton?
No.
So he did the Kirby Man song, if you know it, if you're in the Christian music world. He came to play when I was in college. I was a brand new Christian. And he played a show, and I was like, dang, this guy was really good. Like, really, really good. Surprisingly, I'd never been to a Christian concert or anything. I thought, this guy's amazing. It was like Holy Spirit filled and everything. Great show. So the next year at that same college, he was coming in to do another show. Same show next year. And they asked me, because I have a large personality, to introduce him because I had said how much I liked the previous year. And so I'm sitting there with a friend, and I invited some other people. I was like, I'm going to do some ministry. This guy was so good. I'm going to bring in some non-Christian friends, and they're going to all love him too. And so I brought in my non-Christian friend. And I'm like, I got to go introduce this guy, but I don't know where he is. Like, he's late. And so I'm telling my friend as I'm sitting next to him, you're going to love this guy. He's great. He's got this crazy, stupid hair, though, that goes everywhere. And, like, he looks real funny, but he's great. And then I get up. They're like, Ryan, you got to go introduce him. And I'm thinking, where is this guy? He's not even here yet. So he's backstage, right? So I get up to introduce him after saying all these things about him. And I introduce him, and I say, Leighton Howerton's here. And I look down, and he was sitting right in front of me. He had completely changed his look. And all the things that I was saying about how goofy he looked, he could hear every single thing that I said. And then I had to introduce him on stage.
Did he do a good show?
Yeah, it was a great show.
It's just awful
I've
for me.
never forgot it, though, because
Did he
that
say
was
anything to you?
one of the most embarrassing moments of my entire life. No, I left quickly. I did not want to see that man ever again.
Next question for the both of you. What is your morning routine? How do you get ready? I'm not talking about like everything you do in your morning. It's like, how do you get yourself ready to be in public?
I just shower and medicine and sometimes treadmill, depending.
How long does it take you?
30 minutes. If I'm doing treadmill, probably more like 45 to 50 seconds. Yeah. It's a speed run.
He's so fast, guys. Brad?
Yeah, it's kind of wake up, shower, get out of the shower, get ready, do my hair.
What does get ready mean? That's the question.
Put your clothes on. So, clothe myself, do my hair, brush my teeth, head out to the kitchen, get my medicine, grab my lunch out of the refrigerator, and burn out.
Do you make your lunch the night before?
No, Terry makes my lunch because she's awesome.
Do you have what kind of lunchbox do you have?
It's a blue canvas one.
Yeah, really big missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was really. G.I. Joe would have been a better answer.
I couldn't think of anything. I really thought of. I got nothing.
I can get out of bed and shower in 7 minutes and be downstairs dressed. From the time I get out of bed, I can be downstairs dressed in 15 minutes. I make 2 pieces of Famous Dave's bread toast.
Killer bread.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Killer Dave's?
Yeah,
I always
Dave's
say the wrong
Killer
one.
bread.
Yes.
He's rocking out on the package.
Something that has to do with Sprouts. I don't know.
I don't know
I read
either.
multiple articles that said it was the healthiest bread you could eat. And I was just like, sure. Put some butter on that toast. Grab a vanilla Greek yogurt. Fit and easy. What is it? I don't know. It's purple.
Light and Fit.
Okay.
Is that the Walmart brand?
No. The Walmart brand is not as good as the actual Dannon. So I can be out of bed, downstairs, dressed, And it's get out of the shower, get dressed, go downstairs, put my toast. I don't put my toast in the toaster. I put the bread in the toaster, and I take the toast out of the toaster. And in that time while the toast is making, I make the YouTube live chat poll and put up the YouTube stream, grab the toast, grab the yogurt, get out of the house, put my makeup on in the scooters, drive through, and then get to work. And I can do all of that in start to finish from the time I get out of bed to the time I get here, 45 minutes.
Would you say that you are the modern woman on the go?
I would say that I am a woman on the go. That's as far as I'll take that.
Do you smoke Newport Slims?
It's none of your business. Let's take a quick break. Your YouTube live chat poll results when we come back is commenting on J.B. Pritzker's weight fair game, yes or no. Let us know what you think in the YouTube poll. We'll read your comments when we come back and wrap it up and hand it over to Mark Reardon on The Mark Reardon Show next. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com, the website, if you want to learn more about Matt Hayes and his amazing team of people at Home Shield Foundation Repair. What do they do? Foundation repair at your home, also at your place of business. If you so choose, reach out to Matt Hayes and say, I've got this issue, would like you to take a look at it. Let me know what you can do to help me. He'll come out and he'll assess the situation. You're not committed to anything over. Like when you call him, you're not putting money down or anything like that. That would be ridiculous. You don't know what you're paying for until he comes out and talks to you. And then you'll realize how great Matt Hayes is and his team at Home Shield Foundation Repair and how cost effective using their polyjacking method to even out the concrete at your home is going to be. Now, it's going to cost a lot of money if maybe that's actually the case. Do you have to rip it all out and replace it? Maybe that's what's going to have to happen. Probably not. This is probably the way you want to go about fixing and solving this problem that is a safety hazard. Doesn't look great, but you need to fix that trip hazard, especially at your place of business. Home Shield Foundation Repair can do that very thing for you. Call 314-227-9636, 314-227-9636, or visit them online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Can you remember the last time we had a president in the Oval Office who worked so hard every day to bring wins to the American people?
Weekdays from 5 to 9, St. Louis Conservative.
You've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine, and you could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt, but you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market for a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Well, not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. And listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. So that's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. You cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. So imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt and stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. You get an all-cash offer now by calling 1-855-300-9993. You can also visit TrueHold.com, the smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Now, back to the Annie Fry Show. Real talk for real people. 97.1 FM Talk.
Everybody get up.
What a phenomenon this song was. It is such a good song.
Always makes me think of Dairy Queen.
Have you ever seen the music video?
I don't think so.
You would know.
Always makes me think of Growing Pains, too.
Alan Thicke was a good dad. Ethan, have you seen the video? Just take Ryan's mic. He doesn't need it.
Here.
There's one right here.
I'm sorry, I panicked.
But you're thinking about the music video?
I believe I have seen the music video. Yes, I believe I have.
Look at him.
Why? I've never seen it.
There's two versions.
There's boobies in it.
There is?
Yeah. Oh, look at his face.
You can't say that on the radio. You can't.
He can. There are.
You have to dump that.
It's just Robin Thicke on this music video, and he's just standing next to a woman in like nude color underpants, and she's topless, and she's just shaking, dancing, and
For 3 minutes?
I didn't time it.
More or less.
You ask Brad whatever you need to know.
Did they color coordinate?
Said it was actually 3 minutes and 37 seconds.
Did you hear Ethan's giggle?
He
He's like,
thinks he did a really good job, and he did.
You laughed.
It was funny.
Actually.
I don't know what you had planned for this segment, but
Nothing.
Robin Thicke just destroyed it.
No, you saved it. Are you kidding me?
Anyway, Dairy Queen. I remember hearing that song for the first time, and I was in a Dairy Queen drive-thru. And I think about
It was
that
that
moment.
impactful for you?
Yeah. It was two of my favorite things, Robin Thicke and ice cream.
Were you getting a blizzard for yourself that you were hiding from your wife?
I think I probably was. This was pre-kids, so I'm sure I was doing something like that.
Do you hide eating from your wife?
No, not anymore. But there was a
Not
time.
any less.
Actually, you know what? There still is a time. It's today.
What?
Where I have 2 candy drawers, and I hope they're not listening to this. I've got the candy drawer, and then and that one's kind of the decoy, and then I've got another one that they don't know about.
Why do you have candy drawers, Mr. I avoid added sugar?
I am, but this was all pre that.
Do you know what one of your tells are about you lying?
I don't want to know.
You're doing it.
Am I swaying? I sway when I have too much energy. I just have a lot of energy, and we stand here for 3 hours, so I got to get it out somehow. I need a little treadmill.
Like just a little one?
Little one. Just a little bitty one I can tiptoe
Why
on.
do you have 2 secret candy drawers at your
No, I
house?
have one that's not a secret, and then one that is a secret. And they all go to the one that they know about.
How
and then I
often
put the stuff I want to keep in the other
do
one.
you treat yourself to the candy drawer?
Just on weekends now.
Baloney.
No, it's true. 7 weeks now.
It's your dark secret.
And I think, you know what? I said this to Brad yesterday. I'm not really losing weight, but I am losing fat in the places that I want to lose it, like in my belly. And Brad was super enthralled by this. He actually put his hands on his fists on my desk, and he looked me in the eyes and he said, "Tell me more." And I was like, "That's a little much."
I touched your belly like you were pregnant.
He made that up. But he's on fire in this segment, and I'm going to let him go. Go ahead.
I'm rolling today overall.
You do this. You go.
Ryan, have you been concerned in your lifetime, in your 40 plus years of lifetime, have you ever had to worry about your weight?
Now I do. I don't worry about it.
You're no part of you is overweight.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not overweight, but I do want to lose some weight. So that's one of the reasons I'm doing the sugar thing, and the other is just
because
that
you're diabetic.
Yeah, I want my A1C to be good. So I haven't got my A1C since I started doing this, but I bet it's better. What you want? You want to end on a joke? This is Ethan's time. Go ahead, Ethan. End on a joke, buddy.
How about
Okay,
the YouTube live
you
chat
ready?
poll results?
Ryan Wiggins. There's my joke.
Dude, I was all in your
Oh,
corner.
man.
I was in your corner this whole segment, too.
Is
That's
commenting
rude.
on
Whole
Governor
segment.
J.B. Pritzker's weight fair game? I am a no. I don't think it's fair game. Ryan?
I'm a yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Ethan?
I'm a no on this. I'm a no on this. So
Little integrity across the room.
We finished split. 252 votes on today's YouTube live chat poll is commenting on Governor Pritzker's weight fair game. 74% say yes, 26% say no.
Well, it was 1 out of 4 before you joined us, Ethan. Thank you for voting in the poll today and for commenting. And for anything you missed on the Annie Fry Show, go to anniefryshow.com. But you're going to want to keep it right here on 97.1 FM Talk. Mark Reardon is next.
Grounded to third, diving play by Arenado. Big up the out. Unbelievable.
Get ready for the ultimate showdown. The New York Yankees come to Busch Stadium the weekend of August 15th through the 17th, and they're bringing the star power. See sluggers like Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton take on your Cardinals in one of the biggest series of the season. Finish off your summer in style with the Cardinals and Yankees. Great seats still available. Get yours now at Cardinals.com.
This is Nolan Arenado, St. Louis Cardinals, Fort Lulu.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game, it's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands, because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody, it's our favorite song.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need, while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.